What is up, you guys? The Teller checking in. MMA Live Discussion, episode number 8. We got a good one for you guys today. We got a lot to talk about in regards to what's going on in the MMA world. Of course, we got another fight card taking place this Saturday. So we'll talk about that card. I want to recap this past weekend's card too. It was crazy, you know. I want to talk to you guys and feel you guys out on how it went for all you guys. I know it was a wild card, a lot of heavy favorites. They did lose, and I know a lot of you guys had that mixed in some of your guys' parlays and whatnot. So I want to talk to you guys, and also going to be debuting the intro, the new intro video for the Teller here. So that'll be a good thing too. I'll do that a little bit later in the show. But yeah, man. I want to let the room fill up a little bit. And then, like I said, I'm going to be debuting the new rap song for the Teller. A buddy of mine made a cool little rap song for my intro. So I want to debut it and hear what you guys think about it. And like I said on my Instagram live video, maybe you guys can help me think of a name for the song. But I think you guys are going to like that. So I'm gonna be playing that for you guys in a little bit. And what's up, buddy? What's up, guys? Teller, what's up, Vincent? What's up, Jason C? I'm just letting the room fill up right now. And what's up, Lachlan Griffin? What's up, brother? And I guess screw it. How you guys want to hear the song? I'll play it for you now, and then we can start getting into some MMA talk. We got a good amount of people in the room already. So you guys let me know what you think. And hold on, let me get it for you guys. Shout out to my boy Ryan Out of Control, man. He did a good job with this, I think.
The Teller.
It's another day. Left jab, right jab. This is MMA. Mixed martial arts, quick body parts, undefeated when I pick 'em. Who the champ, who the victim? Looking in my crystal ball, I predict the winner. Never stop fighting. If you lose, keep your chin up. You know how the game go. I'm a smart fella. Welcome to the show. This the MMA fortune teller.
The MMA fortune teller.
The Teller.
There you guys had it. The debut of the Teller, the new intro song. Hope you guys like that. If you guys can even hear that. But yeah, you guys will be hearing that at the intro for all my breakdown videos. But other than that, man, I think it's time to start talking some MMA. I know some of you guys probably didn't even give a damn about that, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, man. So we got a fight card taking place this Saturday. You guys know all about it. If you guys already heard my breakdown video, I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to the main event. Dustin Poirier taking on Dan Hooker. It's a super exciting fight. Definitely, in my opinion, the show stealer for sure. You know, that's what it's all about. But there's another fight that we're all looking forward to, right, as well, huh? Mickey Gall taking on Mike Perry. I know a lot of you guys are rooting for Mickey Gall, or maybe not. Maybe you guys are pulling for Perry. I don't know who you guys are rooting for. Comment below. Who you guys rooting to win this fight? What do you want to see happen in this fight? You want to see Mike Perry go out there and take Mickey Gall's head off, or do you want to see Mike Perry continue to make a fool of himself besides even outside the octagon, but then step inside the octagon and stick his arm in an arm bar, or maybe get caught in a triangle? Probably very unlikely, right? But who wants to see that? I'm curious who wants to see that. I'm excited for the Dawkins fight. Me too, man. I'm really excited for that fight as well. That guy is undefeated. He's been pulling off Darce after Darce, and now he's taking on a major step up in competition in Brendan Allen. I have one unit on the over. 2.5 for the Poirier versus Hooker versus near even money. Both are tough out there. I think they get to round 3. Yeah, it's a tough one. I've looked into that prop a little bit myself, actually. It's tough. Depending on how you look at it. You have the smaller cage. These guys are going to be throwing down. They do bring it. Even in the early rounds. Poirier brings it and Hooker brings it too. We've seen Poirier get slept before, like in the Michael Johnson fight, but obviously that was kind of rare. Hooker we've seen get put out before. We've seen him put out with body shots on whatnot. I do kind of figure that we're going to see this fight get past the 3rd round, in my opinion, as well. I do kind of see it getting past the 3rd. If anything, I see more of a finish in the later rounds, in the 4th and 5th for Poirier. That's kind of how I see that. We've seen Poirier dig really deep in the past. Some fights that come to mind. What was it? Pull up a couple. The Max Holloway fight, that's for sure. The Max Holloway fight. He dug extremely deep in that fight. He looked extremely strong all the way to the 5th round. Other than that, there's a couple other that are slipping my mind. I started off happy hour kind of early, so excuse me. Got to sharpen up here for you guys. The Justin Gaethje fight. How can I forget the Justin Gaethje fight? And also the Anthony Pettis fight. Let's touch upon the Justin Gaethje first. If you guys remember, that was a very, very good fight, right? There were some rounds that Dustin lost, I believe. At least it was a close fight. And then, the way he dug deep, came back in the 4th round, got that finish. How about the Anthony Pettis fight? Believe it or not, that was a war. You really wouldn't expect that. Nowadays, you would expect Dustin to go out there and just maul Pettis, maybe. But that fight, Pettis was hanging strong. But that was the starting of Pettis, how he started to fold in all those fights, right? Like the Tony Ferguson fight and all that. He started to break under that pressure. He kind of was a shell of himself a little bit, if you ask me. Hooker and Gall going to prove you wrong. The GOAT Edmund. A big Edmund Shabazian fan, huh? Maybe it's Edmund himself. Is that Edmund? Is that you, buddy? Let us know. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Hooker possibly gets a flash knockout or something like that. But other than that, I would be surprised if he wins a decision. I'll say that much. But I think Dustin wins the fight. As far as Mickey Gall, I don't know. I think I'd be a little bit more surprised. I don't know, almost evenly, but maybe a little bit more surprised if Mickey Gall was to go out there and win that fight. Maybe with the flukes, not the fluke, I don't want to say that. Maybe with the submission, right? Maybe he pulls off the submission. Maybe we see something like that happen. But, I don't know if I see that happening. I just think that Mike Perry is so much more brute than him. He carries so much more power. We saw Diego Sanchez kind of mauling Mickey Gall. So don't underestimate Mike Perry's grappling as well, right? He's not like the most technical and savvy submission type artist, but, he's strong with his positions. He has strong wrestling. You've seen him over there, right, with that grappling bout against Ali Quinta. He looked good in that match. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's not like, throwing up flying arm bars and whatnot, but this is a guy that can out-grapple Mickey Gall. He can avoid the submission possibly and just brutalize him, right, with some ground and pound and whatnot. So, keep an eye on it for that. Hooker only wins with the knee up the middle. It's a call right there by the boy Johnny Venezuela. Johnny, was that you that we did the tequila shot for the fight companion? I see your little logo. You look familiar. If it was, man, shout out to you. I got a shot waiting for you on Saturday if you want to do another shot, man, for the fight companion. Poirier and Gall will both get KO'd in the first round, says Brody Reeves, or Rivas, however you want to pronounce that. Bold calls, man. Bold calls. Mickey Gall getting knocked out, not so much, but Poirier. We'll see how that plays out. Are you betting the house on Mike Perry? Stay tuned. Stay tuned, Christopher Torres. Do you think I would bet the house on Mike Perry? I don't know. The odds, let's pull up the line real quick too, by the way. Right now, Mike Perry is right around minus 300, right? You can get him as low as minus 290, as high as minus 333, minus 345. Some places, I don't know, man. You feel comfortable taking Perry in that situation. We all expect him to go out there and brutalize Gall. But again, I'm telling you guys, don't be surprised. Don't be super surprised if Mickey Gall was to pull this fight off, it would be by submission, I think. And don't be like extremely surprised if he pulls off an armbar. We've seen Mike Perry get armbarred before, of course, by a completely different level of fighter, right? Cowboy Cerrone. I'm sure some of you guys are even upset I'm even bringing those two guys up in the same conversation. But I'm just saying, that was a fight that Mike Perry, in my opinion, could have won if he would have just kept the fight on the feet, let the fight play out a little bit longer, and started to work the body, right? Throw those heavy body shots. Cerrone hates those, and Perry actually throws those very nice. And you know what he did? He started playing games with Cerrone, trying to power bomb him, mess with him, and got his arm trapped up. The GOAT Edmund, you better not pick Brunson over Edmund. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I'm definitely going with Edmund. For those of you guys that don't know already, I'm very high on Edmund Shabazian. I think that guy has potential to be a future champion. Edmund is a guy who has spectacular grappling. He's been doing his thing since he was a kid, right? Like 17, 18 years old, going out there out grappling these grown men. And then it's not even that, right? Since he's been in the UFC, he's been knocking dudes out. His striking is disgusting. He's a very well-rounded fighter. And his head coach, right, Edmund Taverdian, Ronda Rousey's old coach. I know a lot of you guys love him. And but you know what? He's polishing up an amazing fighter over there. So shout out to you, the GOAT Edmund. Where do you think Perry's head's at? I think Perry's head is up his butt. Everything I've seen from Mike Perry, the dude is a wild man. I guess he's not going to have anybody in his corner, correct? I mean, he's having his little girlfriend there or whatnot. You see him on Instagram. He's playing around in the pool with her. I don't like to judge people with their personal life, but I don't know what's going on with that dude. I know he was married to some other chick, Danielle Perry. I know a lot of you guys want me to get her on the show. I'm working on that. And, he's married to her 1 second. He's so in love, keeps going off and on. And the next thing you know, he has that young girl. I don't know what the deal is. I heard rumors that he was just looking for a cheap coach to hold pads for him. So he just uses her to hold pads. But I don't know if that's true, man. He looks like he's in love. It's another case of the Cejudos. You know what the Cejudos are? It's when you get your first girlfriend, you get a little bit whipped and you retire from the fight game, right? I mean, Henry Cejudo has basically admitted it now. You saw he made a post today on Instagram. All jokes, man. Cejudo's a legend, but sometimes you got to wonder about these guys. A lot of these guys, not a lot. Some of these guys, their personal life's a little different than the normal guy. Gall winning by disqualification. See, like that's a call. You never know. Well, what kind of DQ though? What do you see happening if it's a DQ? Dylan Flanagan, no guest this week. No guest. Yeah, I want to address that, man. No guest this week. I want to just keep it kind of simple for this episode. Talk, all things recent MMA, and I'm going to get into some of these cards. I want to get into this weekend's card and the following weekend. To be honest with you guys, I've been extremely busy to start the week off, so I didn't even get a chance. I kind of just hit the pump the brakes. I didn't reach out to anybody to get them on the show, but I'm going to make up for that. And leading up to this upcoming Thursday, I'll have a spectacular guest for you guys. And then after that Thursday, I'll have a roster lined up, man. I'll have 10 shows in a row. I promise you guys. I was kind of slacking towards the beginning of this week, but like I said, a lot of stuff going on here for the teller. And, I just balancing out a lot of different things. So no guest this week. But like I said, I mean, I had a couple guys I could have brought on last minute. I just didn't feel like I just wanted to keep it simple. I didn't feel like it was right. I had one name that was pretty big, and I didn't want to give it such a limited time of letting everybody know. And I wanted to prepare for that. And he's a cool dude. So you guys will see from him soon. Let's see, man. What else? If you guys got any questions, go ahead and ask away, man. We got a big fight card coming up this weekend. Mike Perry knows that life is better with sides, hence his multiple new girlfriends. Wait, did he have another one besides this chick? I know he had the blonde one, and then I didn't know if there was another one, but I know this one. This one looks like a little girl, right? Like she's 18 or something. Johnny Venezuela's in Vegas. The pros are on Hooker. Okay, we'll see about that, right? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what side the pros are on after that main event ends. Because I mean, those pros could be on Hooker if they want, but if they lose, I mean, even the best take losses. So I don't want to say that, but I don't know. There's some value. There's some value on Hooker, possibly some value on Hooker, but you gotta foresee him winning that fight, right? I mean, there's some solid value on him, but do you really think he's going to win that fight? Dustin Poirier is championship material. I think that Dustin Poirier has the edge as far as the striking goes, I think Hooker is more unorthodox. I think Hooker has some nice leg kicks. He might be able to utilize some of the leg kicks a little bit. Poirier is a pro, though. He knows how to check those. He's going to be putting the beating on you. Every time you throw that kick, Poirier is going to be throwing shots right down the middle, throwing the jab. It has an amazing jab. Let's not forget about Poirier's jab, man. You saw him in the Max Holloway fight with it. We've seen him in multiple fights with it. I think that Poirier may have the edge as far as grappling goes, but don't sleep on Hooker's grappling. But I think Poirier is more polished with the sub game, and I think he'll be stronger. And I think where we really separate these two men is the fact that I think that Poirier will be able to dig deeper. I think that Poirier will take over this fight as it hits the 4th and 5th rounds. We saw how Dan Hooker looked in his fight against Paul Felder. That was a fight that I was on Hooker, right? That was one of my plays for the evening, and I did hit that. And I thought that Hooker won that fight convincingly. In my opinion, I thought he won that fight easily 3-2. But I will say this, he did not look good in the 4th round. And even though he dug deep in the 5th round and he ended up, in my opinion, taking that 5th round, it wasn't a very impressive round for him. He was, just pushing up Felder against the cage a little bit, but he didn't look fresh. He didn't look like Dustin Poirier looks in the 5th round, in the 4th round. You saw Dustin Poirier in the 5th round against Max Holloway. You want to talk about a pace? You guys remember the pace of that Max Holloway-Dustin Poirier fight? Dustin Poirier was in the 5th round, wiping the sweat off, jumping up and down, and just still going at it, man. Just throwing hands. He looked almost as fresh as he did in the 2nd round, the 3rd round. So I don't know. I'm a big Poirier fan. I think that he's championship caliber. There's just there's guys like Khabib in his way, and McGregor we don't know. McGregor did knock him out, but that was a long time ago. Hooker's gas tank worries me. Good call. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Johnny, be careful with the gas tank of his, because like I said, if you don't see that flash knockout, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really have a hard time visualizing Hooker beating Poirier. I'm telling you, run the tape back and watch Dustin's fights, man. Those wars that he goes into. And it's very hard to doubt him going into those 4th and 5th rounds. So Artem Lobov would be a nice-ass guest. Yeah, man. Let's get Artem Lobov on the show. Maybe I'll reach out to him. The GOAT. We'll get the GOAT on the show. If anybody has connections to Artem Lobov, now's the time to speak up. Help us get Artem on the show, man. The people have spoke. Did you guys hear about Paige Van Zandt? Paige Van Zandt. Let's see. You guys, let me know how this looks for you guys. I'm gonna let's see. How does this look for you guys? You guys can see that, right? Pull it up for a second. Paige, you guys heard about this going on in the news. Paige Van Zandt is complaining about her pay. She's on the last fight of her contract. So, you know what? I think that she's going to be in a tough position, if you ask me, because she's fighting a girl in Amanda Ribas. If you guys didn't realize, that fight is taking place on the following card, UFC 251. That's Paige Van Zandt's last fight on the contract, taking on Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas is a girl that's been running through everybody that she's fought. A girl that you can definitely tell that has a different type level of skills. Paige Van Zandt's going to be in big time trouble, if you ask me. But she said that she says that she's been all in as far as her, it's all in on her fight game. You know, she said she's not messing around with her Instagram, this and that, but she's complaining basically that she makes more money on her Instagram than she does fighting. She's only going to make, I think she gets paid like 40 and 40. So, you know, if she wins and whatnot, or, you know, yeah, she makes 80,000 if she wins, and not including if she hits a bonus or whatnot. But, you know, you got to figure a girl like her, check out her Instagram. How many followers does Paige Van Zandt have on Instagram? She, you know, she has probably, I'm assuming she has almost 1 million. So Tim Bender says he can get Paige Van Zandt at plus 530. Yeah, so think about that. So Paige Van Zandt is going out on a limb. She's complaining about her contract. You know, she's on her last fight of her contract. I think, in my opinion, this is pretty much a mutual parting of ways. I think that the UFC is like, okay, we're going to throw you to the wolves. We're going to throw you to Amanda Ribas. And then, we know you're going to lose that fight. And you want to complain because Paige Van Zandt has been difficult as far as setting up fights with her for over at least the past year or two. So, this is something that's been going on a long time with Paige Van Zandt. Don't get it twisted. And, I think the UFC had enough for her because mark my words, she ain't going to be in the UFC no more. She's not even that level of a fighter. She's not that caliber of a fighter. And, she's going to lose and the UFC doesn't want to pay her. I guess they don't want to market, the girl that just looks good like that. You got to also be able to have the skills to really, to hold that type of pay that she wants, in my opinion. And the UFC knows what's up with her. You saw what they did to Sage Northcutt too. Maybe similar in a way. I don't know. But, let's see. Rebus is a good pay-per-view. Struggle with Ostovich. She sure did. I'm gonna post a link. I'm probably gonna keep it to just one guest at a time. So you guys come in, man. If you guys have some questions or whatnot. Let's see. There's the link, man. If anybody wants to hop in, you guys can hop in. Like I said, I'll probably keep it to one guest at a time, and we'll probably rotate around a little bit if we get multiple people waiting. And any questions you guys have, man, come on the show and let's talk all things MMA. I got a couple other things I want to talk about too. Some funny things. How about the Chad Mendez versus Michael Bisping beef? That's a funny one. Other than that, we got to talk about the Little Nogueira. Not really crazy news. He said he's going to be retiring after his the trilogy fight with Shogun. For those of you guys that don't know, that's all going down. And Jared says, can you explain a parlay bet? Yeah, so a parlay bet, actually, it's a good point that you bring up because I still have people that tell me that they can't parlay on their sports betting sites, and I want to explain that really anybody can do a parlay no matter what. They can't really prevent you from doing it. So basically, imagine you had $100, right? If you want to parlay, let's just say, for example, you want to parlay Dustin Poirier and Mike Perry on this card, right? So if you said you can't parlay, first off, just to let you know what a parlay is basically you're taking a sum of money, you're putting it on the first bet, and then you're taking that money that you won, you're getting it back, and then you're taking the winnings, and then you're throwing it on the next fight, right? And then you get your money back and you get the winnings, right? That's what a parlay is. If that was a 2-team parlay, and essentially it would be the same thing. If you had 10, the same thing, you're taking the winnings, it adds it up. So if you can't do a parlay on your betting site, you basically can though, because all you have to do, take that $100, bet it on the first fight that you were going to bet of the parlay, then take the winnings that you won, say you won $40 on that $100, then you put the $140 on the next play, okay? That then after you hit that 140, that's a parlay. So you just hit that parlay. I got a couple of people in the back room. If you guys can hear me, hang tight. I'll have all you guys come in. Looks like we got a newcomer. I'm gonna bring him in. Alex. 1 second, Alex. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. You just got a little bit of repeat.
Yeah, sorry, I was playing on my TV. My bad.
You're good. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
Nah, doing good. How are you?
Very good, man. Very good. I'm getting ready for this Saturday's card. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a few questions. So,
sure.
What do you think fight of the night is going to be?
Fight of the night on this card. Yeah. It's a good question. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the full card again because there's one that comes to mind that I was gonna say, but I want to double check if that's gonna be my fight of the night. I'll tell you one right now: Sean Woodson versus Julian Erosa. And remember, guys, that's a newly added fight to the card, right? Sean Woodson's opponent, he dropped out of the fight, and now Julian Erosa is stepping in. So if you guys aren't familiar with Julian Erosa, Julian, actually, just to let you guys know too, Kyle Nelson was the guy that pulled out, but Julian Erosa is a guy that's been having trouble pulling off victories inside the UFC, but he's a guy that brings it every time. That's why he's getting another chance. So, Sean Woodson, you guys know the deal with him, man. He's a sniper. I think that's going to be a very entertaining fight.
I agree. Definitely.
Yeah. What about you? What's your fight of the night?
You know me. I think this John Vellante versus Maurice Green. I think it's good. I think people are sleeping on it. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think John Vellante. He's had some struggle, but I think he's got the experience advantage, and you know, same thing as last week with the Austin Hubbard versus Max. You know, experience does play off. You know, so
Yeah,
so we're
definitely,
gonna
definitely.
see. Definitely gonna see.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. You pretty much know, like I was touching upon that in my breakdown video. Vellante is a guy that doesn't get a lot of wins, but he brings it every time he steps in, right? You know, sometimes he gasses out, but he's still throwing.
Yeah, and I mean he has some good wins too over the likes of Corey Anderson. Has some split
Yeah.
decision losses to some good people, if you want to be quite honest. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting fight.
I know another fight that a lot of people are interested in is that Kyle Dawkins versus Brendan Allen, because that guy Dawkins is coming in, right? You know, at short notice, undefeated. And if you guys watch the tape on him, he's an exciting guy. You know, if you're into submissions, you know, I love the Darce. I love watching guys tie up a Darce choke on somebody. So I'm excited to see how he performs on a next step, you know, up against Allen.
Definitely going to be grappler versus grappler. So yeah.
Don't sleep on Allen's hands though. He has decent boxing. He carries a little bit of power. You know, nothing spectacular, but you know, he has some nice little hands here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are sleeping on that fight. I mean, Brennan's definitely got the advantage in the grappling department and striking too, but I mean, it's going to be a good fight. So
yeah, I noticed that somebody else brought up where was it? The Violent Bob Ross fight, who's taking on Kama Worthy. That's another fight that could definitely play out exciting.
I agree. I definitely agree.
What's your thoughts on that fight? Who do you have winning?
It's definitely going to be a stand-up fight. That's for sure. I have Pena. I think I've watched some tape on Karma, and he's definitely a good fighter. Not bad, but I think Pena is going to expose a lot of areas of his game. So I got Pena.
Yeah, I got Pena too. It's funny you say that because you said you kind of foresee it being a striking battle, but I think that Pena for sure can hold his own in the feet, but I think that Pena has an edge with the grappling. If he can start to wear on Worthy a little bit, I could see him maybe taking a back, getting a rear naked choke or something, or kind of controlling him. You know, Pena has some good wrestling. You know, he's put in time with AKA, and now he's over at American Top Team. And Pena is a professional. You know, he's good. That guy.
Yeah, you definitely got that right. I don't think Karma's going to want it to hit the ground because obviously he's definitely got a weakness there. He's going to definitely give up his back if it hits the ground. So
yeah. And hey, but listen, you got to be careful if you're sleeping on Kama Worthy. Say you're throwing Pena in a parlay. Be careful because we saw Worthy already spoil the party right against Devontae Smith, King of the Cage. That guy's a beast too, Devontae. So
yeah, not bad.
That was a weird knockout too, right? Like if you watch that knockout, it wasn't like the cleanest shot. It was kind of weird. Like it kind of shows that, you know, he has some real power because the way he caught him and the way he put him out, you know, he carries some power.
I agree. I think Pena is definitely going to outclass him though when it comes to that, but it's going to be interesting to say the least. Where
are you coming in from, Alex? Where are you at?
So I'm from Utica, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, so upstate New York.
Nice. How's the weather up there?
I be training at because I go to school in Buffalo, so University of Buffalo. I train with up and comer Patty Mix, so he's actually in Bellator. Yeah, he's 14-0. So
he goes by Patty, right? I know him as Patrick Mix. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely be getting my time in with them.
That's awesome. I'm gonna pull him up real quick. I want to pull up Patrick Mix real quick. He's a good fighter, that dude.
Super good fighter. He'll be a champion. In Bellator.
Let's see. Yeah, so Mick, he's a bantamweight fighter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, undefeated, 13-0. That's right, man.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So he took out Ricky Bandejas over in Bellator. He even went over to Ryzen. Oh, was that the Ryzen event where they combined with Bellator?
Yes,
it might have been that. Yeah. Yep. Yes, it was. That's good, man. That's really good experience for him traveling like that. I'd see he took out Tony Gravely. Yeah, this guy, man. The sky's the limit with this guy, man.
Yeah, and he's definitely on the come up because he wants that belt. So definitely.
Hey, well, if he ever wants to come on the show, you know,
I could try.
Get him. Let him know. He has an open welcome, man. That guy is very promising. Like you said, I could see him holding gold. I seen him fight. He's a very impressive fighter.
And especially when you train with him and you really get to see his work ethic behind closed doors, like it's amazing. So
nice,
yeah,
good stuff, man. Good stuff. So are you a regular watcher of the show? You usually watch the show, or?
I mean, I just found your page like a couple weeks ago, but I've been watching it. So yeah,
good stuff, bro. I appreciate you, man. And yeah, man. And of course, we got the fight companion going down always for the fight cards, and every Thursday we're right here. And yeah, man, it was a pleasure having you on. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything you can think of?
Not right now, but of course I'll hit you up on the DMs if I
All right, brother.
All
Hell
right,
yeah,
bro.
man. Good talking, bro. Peace, brother. That was cool, man. Alex. We're gonna bring in another guest. You guys know him. Arseny.
What's up, bro? What's going on?
Just chilling, man. We just had Alex on the show. That was pretty cool, man. So he trains with Patrick Mix, the Bellator fighter. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he's a very good fighter, Patrick Mix, undefeated, 13-0. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you were talking about, Luis Pena versus Kama Worthy. When I saw the fight, him against Steve Garcia, I remember I actually put a little bit on Steve Garcia because the odds were so crazy that I thought that he had some kind of chance. But obviously Luis Pena kind of smothered him with the wrestling. And I think he's probably going to do the same thing to Kama. I think Kama's only shot is that like first round knockout or something because he has the touch of death. Especially he has those like awkward shots.
Yep.
Like you're talking about the awkward. I think doesn't like Jairzinho's kind of like that where he throws awkward shots and he knocks people out with them.
He has for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's just touched guys before and they just go to sleep. So
yeah. So I feel like, but that's kind of a scary situation, when you have, obviously I'm sure when it, once the third round rolls around and Pena's still in there and still, wrestle fucking him or however people like to call it, it's over. But again, he's gonna have to kind of wade through deep waters in the very beginning, with Kama Worthy. Again, anything he touches you with, he could sweep you. So it's kind of scary, touching that line when he's, and again, like you said, there's a lot of big favorites on this. I texted you this, but man, I was looking at Mike Perry's Instagram, and even though I do think he's going to destroy whatever the guy's name, what's his name?
Mickey Gall.
Yeah, Mickey Gall. But bro, man, just looking at his Instagram, watching him hit the pads with his girlfriend holding him up, bro. She's barely holding the pads. I'm like, dude, I hope he's training for real, man. I really hope so.
I think he is. I think he's a beast. I think he just has a couple screws loose.
Okay.
Screws loose, but I think that, in my opinion, I know what you're saying though. There's some red flags if you're going to throw a lot of money on him in a parlay, but I just see him smashing Mickey Gall. You know what I mean? Like I really do. I see him smashing Mickey Gall. I think that when they clinch, when you see these guys clinch and they're fighting for underhooks, they're against the cage, I think you're going to see an extreme difference in strength. I really do. Mickey Gall, I'm telling you, Mickey Gall got ragdolled by Diego Sanchez, and that wasn't too long ago. So I mean, that kind of shows, like where he's at. But then he bounced back with a nice victory in his last fight. So, I don't know, man.
Do you think Perry's sandbagging it a little bit, or you think like he's just mentally kind of checked out?
When you say sandbagging, what's that mean?
Meaning like, okay, so sandbagging is when, let's say I'm a fighter and I want to make it seem like I'm not that good. So I'll hit the pads really slowly. So I'll put it on Instagram, me hitting the pads as if I'm really slow and labored. And then come fight night, I come in 3 times as fast. And the guy expects me to be like, oh, this guy sucks. I saw him hitting the pads. He has no speed on him. So it's like you're basically like pretending like kind of like a pool shark, in a pool shark, like they'll and then all of a sudden you start.
Where's that video? Where'd you see it? Because I'm gonna pull it up for everybody so we could all watch that. Was that on Instagram?
Yeah, like with his girlfriend holding the pads for. I mean, it's just in general, like a bunch of them where he's just kind of screwing around, and like you don't see him really training much. I mean, on Instagram, again, he could be training. It's just on Instagram, every single post is him and his girlfriend, him picking up his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's like whipped, bro. He's in love with that girl, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, and then
I seen him like throwing her up in the pool. Where is she? Where is the video where she's holding the pads?
Oh, dude, you were talking about before. Let me find it right now on Instagram, Mike Perry. It's a little bit down because like I spent like a good 20 minutes kind of looking at it because I was thinking about maybe playing a little bit of money on on Mike in a parlay, but then I saw that and I was like, even though I do think that Mickey Gall is like Platinum Perry's going to destroy him, that's a little worrisome when a guy, it doesn't appear like he's really training.
And he's a guy that's mentally, he's questionable. Let me ask you guys, what does this look like real quick? Because I'm starting to flirt with this. You guys can see everything good? Yeah, you guys can see the answer. Yeah, here he is with this girl. This was, I know he was in the pool. But here, look at Perry hitting the pads here, though, man.
Yeah, he looks good.
He still has that pop, bro. This guy has power.
Yeah,
I don't know. Can you guys hear that as well or no?
No, we can't hear it, but
Okay.
yeah. But no,
But you see it. I mean, like, yeah, the technique, bro. It's not like this is a super technical striker right here, but he's never really been. His boxing is decent, but this is a guy that just has that man strength, bro. That power. He has that pop.
You really
does.
You know, do you think this is, again, you know, maybe we're just giving too much, maybe I'm giving too much credit to Mickey Gall, but do you think it's possible that, like, you know, like what happened to Roosevelt Roberts, where Mike Perry might throw something wacky and somehow Gall gets him down and while he's dry and throws on a submission?
It could happen. It's possible. I don't really see it happening, but it is possible. I'll tell you what, bro. Mickey Gall, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu based fighter. His BJJ is not bad. You know, that's how he got into the game, to my knowledge. He was training BJJ. I think he's actually, you know, it's underestimated. I just think that there's other aspects of his game that really has to step up. His physical training and all that type of stuff, and his wrestling. He needs to work on his wrestling. You know, this is a guy that, you know, he can be controlled on the mat, you know, if you nullify his BJJ, and then you can start beating him up. How about this, Tria?
Yeah. Well, good for him. You know, it seems
let's get a vote right now. Comment right now in the comments. And while you do that, if you could, please hit that like button, man. It helps me out a lot. But let's get a vote. Who do you guys like better? His new girl, or did you like the old girl, Danielle, the wifey, the blonde wifey that was bringing him food on a platter every time she walked up, right? She was bringing him all those beautiful meals. Or do you like the little 18-year-old girl? Comment now.
I'm going to say new, man.
You know what? A lot of people were making fun of the old one. They said that she looked like a donkey.
Oh man, bro, that's hilarious. I mean,
I'm curious what more people like.
Yo, but Mike Perry definitely, he's a fun guy to watch. I saw some funny comment. So you know, the UFC put out a video of Mike Perry's best moments, and I think, it was either that or like one of his interviews with Ariel Helwani or whatever. There was another one where someone said, "Yo, in a year, this guy's gonna be on like bare knuckle fighting championships." You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree. I'll tell you what, though. Mike Perry, man, and bare knuckle. Actually, shout out to bare knuckle.
Oh,
bare knuckle.
I didn't realize that.
But yo, hey, I'll tell you what, man. Perry, without any, I mean, not that those gloves in the UFC, you know, the 10-ounce, whatever they're 10-ounce gloves, do they matter that much? What are they? 8-ounce, right? 8-ounce gloves?
Yeah, 8-ounce, I think. Yeah,
8-ounce. But not that they matter that much because they're so small. But I mean, imagine Perry with nothing but knuckle, man, just whipping body shots, man. He carries crazy power into the octagon, man. But you know what? I don't think Perry's going anywhere, bro. I'll tell you what. I think that Perry is still a guy that's going to be able to expose certain fighters. He's going to get a victory this weekend. That's going to be another victory on the record. And you take a look at his resume, and just because he has that name too, you know, that he's a character, man. The UFC is going to keep him around.
That's a big thing. That's a big feather in his cap. I mean, people tune in to see him fight. I mean, you can be a great fighter like Leon Edwards, but if no one cares about you, no one cares. You know what I mean? But
let's not get it twisted now, too. I mean, took out Paul Felder, Paul Felder has been on a tear. That was a really good fight for Perry. He bullied him up in that fight. Lost to Cerrone, had that setback, made that mistake, stuck his arm in there, bounced back with the win over Alex Cowboy Oliveira. That was a solid fight. And all these fights are entertaining one way or another. Lost to Vincent Luque, but that's not even a loss on your record, right? You know, split decision loss, fight of the night, you know, potential fight of the year, like that type of fight. And then Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's a guy. You guys are going to be hearing a lot about that guy, Jeff Neal. Trust me. And then he's going to go out there. He's going to get a victory against Mickey Gall.
Do you think Jeff Neal's a future champion?
I think he has potential to be a future champion. I wouldn't really say at this point right now in the welterweight division. There's a lot of just beasts in the welterweight division. I mean, right now, Jeff Neal's 13-2. The biggest names that he took out, of course, was Perry, Price, and Belal Muhammad. Those are all, you know, as far as in the octagon, those are like, you know, B- or C+ type of opponents. You know what I mean? Once he starts getting to those B+ and A- opponents, it might be a different type of fight. We have to see how his grappling holds up. You know, Kevin Holland knocked him out back in 2017. That was 3 years ago. Kevin Holland's a skilled fighter. He lost to the guy. You know who he lost to? He lost to Martin Sano. Remember Martin, or however you say that, Sano or Sano, one of the Diaz brothers, the boys that hangs out with them all the time. He has that weird like faux hawk type thing. Martin Sano tapped his ass out. But that was a long time ago, 2013. I would say, in my opinion, it's way too early to even consider this guy to be a future champion. I think he has a lot of potential. But, dude, you pull up the welterweight rankings, bro. Like, there's just some killers out there, man. How about you throw this guy in the octagon with a guy like Wonder Boy and see how he does with the striking against a guy like Wonder Boy. You know, that would be a good way to see where he's at.
Yo, no, I was just thinking about back to Mike Perry. Bro, I don't even know if this fight is going to last past 1 round because I do think, you know, Mike Perry, I wouldn't be surprised if he just knocks him out in like a minute or something. But let's say if it goes past the first round, I just cannot wait to hear the corner advice from his girlfriend, bro.
Oh, my God. That would be classic, bro.
Hit him in the or like, yo, that reminds me of remember Diego Sanchez's coach? What's his name? He's like, be like Mike Tyson or something like that. Didn't he say something crazy like that?
I don't. Did he say Mike Tyson? Because I was going to bring up. There was I don't know if everyone that's listening, if you guys saw, if you didn't see this video, make sure you check it out. It's really cool. Ars, I don't know if this is what you're referring to. There was this one guy. He was like some type of Russian type fighter or some type of Eastern European fighter, and his coach goes, "Pull up, be like Mike Tyson," just like you say. He's like, "Be like Mike Tyson. Go out there." He's like, Tyson, finish him. And the guy goes out there and just kind of starts doing that pickaboo style and just starts going out there. And he looked just like Tyson, bro. And he knocked his opponent out in the 12th round. It was either the 12th or the 10th round. But whatever round it was the last round of the fight. You know what I mean? So it might have been a 10-rounder. And he knocked him out with seconds to go. His coach was like, "Get the stoppage." And he got the stoppage, bro. I don't know if that's the video you're talking about.
No. I was talking about
Sanchez, huh?
Diego Sanchez's coach. Remember the weird guy? He's like,
yeah.
He's
I'll tell you guys some stuff about that, bro. Oh, first off, I just talked to Diego Sanchez. Diego, I think I pulled it up already, but I'll tell you guys again. Diego Sanchez said he said, I go, yo, and any chance coming on the show? And he goes, if it aligns correctly, I'll come on the show. And just to let you know, bro, Diego Sanchez has been on some stuff, bro. So if you guys follow Stephan Bonner on his Instagram story, he just went up into the mountains with Diego Sanchez and that same guy you're talking about, the coach. And they did ayahuasca. They did that stuff. So, and Diego Sanchez, Bonner basically said, Sanchez has been wanting me to come do this with him for some time. And now he did it with him. So, it's crazy.
Yo, that's like that stuff they were talking about, the toad. Remember the
toad?
Yeah, dude. Like, remember, I think Cejudo said that, like, once he took the toad, he saw his mom, like, falling in love with his father when he was, like, young. He saw himself growing up and the emotions. I'm like, that sounds like a crazy trip, dude.
Yeah. I think it was good for Mike Tyson, man. He raves about it. And I think a guy like him needed something like that because Mike Tyson is a guy that, in my opinion, I could relate to him in some aspects. I don't know if you guys listen, if you guys can relate to this too. Sometimes you just have too much of that. What's the word I'm looking for? Like too much of that like innate, like killer instinct in your mind. Sometimes grow. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson just wants to conquer, right? He wants to be a conqueror. He wants to be an emperor. You know what I mean? He has that. He doesn't want anybody telling him what to do. And I kind of relate to that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there do too. But, Mike Tyson, like if you heard him on the Joe Rogan Experience, he's like, he doesn't even like to work out. Now, obviously, he's starting to work out now for that little fight thing that's going on. But he said he wasn't working out for years because if he starts to work out, his ego starts to get crazy. And he feels like, you know what I mean? I think he's the type of guy that he just gets nuts. He's like, he needed something to chill him out. You know what I'm saying? And also another thing that helps him a lot is the pot, smoking. Yeah. I think that's something that's really good for him too. He needs to take a little bit of his edge off, bro. Because a guy like that, he was built just to be going to war, bro. I really believe that. Like Mike Tyson was built to be going to war and to be like decapitating guys and taking them out, spearing them and stuff.
Bro, you know what impresses me most about Mike Tyson is the fact that he went from rags to riches, back to rags, and back to riches, which mentally, like, you have to be really mentally tough. Because can you imagine, like, going from nothing to becoming worth hundreds of $millions, going back to having, like, $1,000 in your bank account? Because I remember I watched some, like, stupid VH1 show, like, years ago where they talked about how Mike Tyson went from having, like, hundreds of millions. I think he had, like, negative $2,000 in his bank account, something crazy like that. and now he's building up his name again. And I wouldn't be surprised if his because marijuana is there's going to be a lot of people making a lot of money on that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of them. If his Tyson Ranch makes a lot of money. So if he comes back, and again, he's pretty successful now. I remember like ever since The Hangover, he's been like making a comeback. And if he makes it back to, maybe he won't be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe he'll be worth like $50 million. But still, man, imagine the range of emotions and having the mental toughness to come back from that. That's impressive, man. Like,
yeah,
how I see it. Yeah.
And you know what? I think that Mike Tyson was like the perfect storm, bro, because his coach was named Chuck D'Amato. What was it?
No, not Sal D'Amato. Is it Sal D'Amato?
Is it Sal D'Amato?
I'm not Google that.
Chuck. Pull it up real quick. Yeah. But his coach, right? This is a guy that obviously knew the ins and outs of boxing, right? It was a guy, I believe he did some work with Muhammad Ali, right? I think he worked with Muhammad Ali. But he was a guy that knew the ins and outs, and he knew how to control a young, wild dude like Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Mike didn't have him in his corner, he's the first one that admits it. He would have been a wild dude on the streets. But like, he learned a whole different aspect about, using your mental, man, being grounded in the art of war and all that stuff. And then the art of boxing, of course, too.
It's Customato. So
Customato, right? Customato.
Yo, there's people who think that, like, again, there's like conspiracy theories that like Customato was like mind controlling Mike Tyson. That's why he was.
Well, he used to work hypnosis. Yeah, bro.
That's not just like a crazy wacky.
No.
Okay.
Mike Tyson talked about it on the Joe Rogan Experience that as from a young kid that Cuss would actually do hypnosis and train him to be like a warrior, like hypnosis about like, to prepare for battle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine as a young kid having that happening to you, and then imagine being a physical specimen too. You mix all that up, and and people don't realize Mike Tyson's a very bright dude. He really is. He's bright in his own sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a different type of guy, but you'd be surprised, what's inside the skull of Mike Tyson. And that guy, he might not be into physics and astrology. Actually, maybe he is in astrology, but maybe not into like all the sciences and all that. But he's a guy that's like, he's very philosophical when it comes to like war and fighting. And I think that's what really matters when you're going into the ring or the octagon. You got to be built for war. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my mind more gravitates to war and fighting. I could pick apart, different aspects of war, and I have certain natural abilities maybe that I don't have in other aspects too, as far, some things other people specialize in. But I think that there's certain people that are built for certain things. I think Mike Tyson is the guy that's supposed to be, on the front lines in the old days, the spear or whatever, going to war.
Bro, yeah. I mean, the mental game, I feel like, that's the most important part. I mean, you look at like people who were really successful fighters. I mean, you look at like Cejudo and like GSP, and they talk a lot about like having the mental game, and like GSP says he tries to approach every fight differently. John Jones, regardless of what you think about him, there's no denying the guy's skills and the fact that he watches a lot of tape. And I heard Dominic Reyes likes watching a lot of tape. I mean, the mental game is huge. I mean, even Tyson was talking about how people who are smart should be fighters. Not just because, look at what happened with Max Roshkoff. I mean, like, when the mental game isn't there, and again, I'm sure he's a tough dude, but like when the mental game, when you mentally check out, that's it, man. I mean, he was still, he was still in the fight.
Yeah, no, exactly. It should have been 1-1 going into the third round, as far as to anyone's knowledge in that position, right? The thing is, he wasn't, dude. There's no way anybody can say that he was 100% gassed out. And that, first off, listen, everybody in this chat, we all do, right, is watch fights. That's what we all do, right? We watch fights. How often do you see a guy that's so gassed out that he can't get off the stool? You never see that, right? Even if you see a guy gas out, you might see him start to get tagged up a little bit, fall back, and then get, maybe pull guard and get finished. But it's not like, come on, if you're exhausted, you still get up and you go out there. Maybe you just like you crumple down. But I mean, he said that he was so exhausted he couldn't get out there. I think it was 100% mental. I think that he got tagged with some nasty shots that he's never been tagged with before in a real live professional fight. And I think that he was scared that he was going to get knocked unconscious. I think that he was scared he was going to get knocked unconscious in the third round because he couldn't keep his guard up. He was so exhausted and he didn't want to do it. He couldn't bear thinking about getting put unconscious on national TV, being such an alpha dominant male and dominating almost all the competition that he's ever been in, to being taken out in his first professional loss. And I think that did show a little bit about his personality. I hate to, to kick dirt at a guy when he's down, because I'm a fan of his. I talked to him and everything. But, if you want me to be honest about the situation, I mean, you can't compare him to, a guy like, let's think, man. Think of a guy that's just a beast. Think of a guy, just a guy that that would never do that. Like, who's a guy that would never, ever do that?
Bro,
they have it in them.
Even Mike Perry. I don't see him.
Perry
ever quitting.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Are you kidding me? That Vincent Luque fight, Vincent Luque completely destroyed his nose pushed his nose through his face, and Perry was still getting takedowns going out there, And that's all that Max needed to do, was try to get a takedown, seal that third round, and win the fight. But something was off with that dude, man. I would have never expected that either, bro. Because when you get a guy that's a collegiate wrestler at the caliber that he is, dude, wrestlers are tough, bro. Like, you want to talk about the guys that are the toughest? Bro, this guy's already been through the ringer for his entire life. How the hell do all of a sudden you get in a position like that and you kind of crap out? I would have never expected that. You know what I'm saying? I thought Max was going to win that fight. Obviously, the second round wasn't a good look for him either, but you still got to answer that third bell, and you got to go in for a double leg. And why was he not even shooting in the second round? You know what I thought? I'm like, okay, he wants to save all of his energy, because he wasn't even breathing hard too. He was sitting there like just barely almost getting knocked out, right? But he was just barely missing. And I was like, okay, he's saving all his energy in third round. He's going to be going deep for the takedowns. And then it's just like, I don't understand why, if he was going to quit on the stool in the second, why didn't he just even at least go for takedowns, man? Excuse me. Yeah. In the second. It was weird, man. Weird fight.
I think also maybe because maybe he didn't do, maybe I know he has a great coach, but maybe he didn't do enough like sparring in terms of, in terms of like kickboxing, because it's different, like wrestling. And I mean, like, you could get tapped out, like, let's say, if I got tapped out like 5 times in a row, it's not like, I don't want to go spar anymore. But let's say if I'm sparring against a guy who's really good, and man, like, he just punched me in the head, he just kicked me in the ribs, and I'm like almost crumpled over. It's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. Maybe again, it's different, like wrestling and wrestling versus striking.
Dude, check this out. Anderson the Spider Silva, man, makes an excellent point. Compare Josh Emmett's mentality to Max. Dude, Josh Emmett, a guy that we all picked and we all bet live on that Fight Companion. Josh Emmett, man, the dog, dude, he tears all types of ligaments in his leg. And, dude, he's still throwing head kicks with that same kick. Still throwing head kicks with that kick, man, with that leg. I mean, you want to talk about the heart, still, and that guy still has a cannon, bro. He can't even put all his weight on his left leg. Couldn't even put his that power, on the front leg. He couldn't even press down on it, and he's still throwing bombs, dropping burgos. You got to wonder if he didn't tear all those ligaments in his leg. Maybe he's a little bit more, sturdy on his feet. Maybe he really digs deep and puts burgos to sleep.
Yeah, I absolutely think he would have knocked him out, because I think that took a lot of what's called strength off his punches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
dude, imagine with the torn ligaments in your. I think he had torn ACL, MCL, all types of crap or something.
Yeah. No. I mean, that was I think he absolutely would have knocked out because I don't think, as tough as Shane Burgos is, again, I don't think you could take that much heat. You know what I mean? No matter how tough you are, man. I mean, at some point, your mind is stronger than your body. Your body's just not gonna. He's just not gonna pick it up.
Hey, it wasn't the greatest night for me, but I hit the nail on the head, man, a couple times, and it's always good just to see certain things like that. Like, dude, I said Burgos is striking defense is bad, man. I called that, and I knew he was going to get tagged by Emmett, man. And that entire second and really the whole fight, but the second and third round, dude, he has no defense, bro. One time I made the mistake. I probably shouldn't even have did this, but I commented to him, and I think he saw it too. I forget exactly what it was. It was a while back ago. It might have been a message or whatever. I was like, dude, just please, just work on the striking defense, the head movement, and you're a savage, dude. Like, literally, that's the one hole in his game, man. He's so aggressive. His striking's nasty. He's a good grappler, but he walks down, and for whatever reason, he's like stiff with his upper body. He doesn't have like that swag, like that head movement. Keep your hands up and work. But he has like, I think he does have some traditional martial arts background, so he has kind of like, you know what I mean? He implements his little martial arts type style. Man, his hands are low and. Bro, I don't know. He's going to get knocked out. He's going to get knocked out. I'm telling you, moving forward, he will be knocked out by a lot of guys.
Bro, you know what's dangerous? He's a young guy, and he naturally has an amazing chin. But you don't want to show off your chin. That's something that you want to keep in a reserve. And if his chin has been tested, he's been knocked out by Calvin Kattar. I don't know if he's been knocked out by anyone else, but he got hurt a lot by Josh Emmett. And the fact that
Cub Swanson was teeing off on him a little bit too. That was a fight that he won, but still Cub was tagging him up too.
Yo, how long is your chin gonna hold up, man? Your chin is not like a muscle. It's not like a muscle, bro. Like, you know, at some point you're just gonna turn to glass, you know? And that's it. And I mean, his whole style is done. I mean, you know, like
check this out. I'm gonna pull up the welterweight rankings. If you guys can see that right here. Just to touch upon that again, because we were talking about Jeff Neal. And how do you guys foresee Jeff Neal matching up against some of these guys here, you know? We'll start at the top and work our way down. I would Vincent Luque, I believe they already squared off. No, they didn't. They did not square off. That would be an excellent fight, man. That would be an amazing fight. I would probably, I don't know, man. I don't know who I would edge. I think maybe, you know, that's a different type of fight. You know, he's starting to creep up, you know, and actually Jeff Neal is ranked one spot above Vincent Luque. And then you got Nate Diaz. I mean, I don't even know if that's worth talking about. I would take Jeff Neal over Nate Diaz, but RDA, that would be a really solid fight, huh? How about RDA making a comeback against Jeff Neal, right? You know, the crafty veteran versus, you know, the young, hungry fighter in Jeff Neal. Damian.
What are the power differential? Would Jeff, I think Jeff has a lot more knockout power than RDA, right? Or no?
I think so. I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I would say he has more power than RDA, but RDA is still a guy that can definitely shut your lights out. You know, getting a little bit up there in age. He's been through some wars, but, you know, I think Jeff Neal definitely has more pop than RDA at this point. But just RDA might be a little bit more composed. He's been, you know, through the wire a lot more than Jeff Neal. But I would expect Jeff Neal to go out there and probably pull off a victory. But you know, how about this though? You move up the weight division. These are fights that would be really, really interesting for him because I would love to see him against guys like Michael Chiesa, Damian Maia, two excellent grappling opponents. And then you start talking about specialists like Stephen Thompson too, right? Can he really strike with a guy like Stephen Thompson? I can't wait to see all those fights, man. Those are going to be excellent fights to see Jeff Neal.
Imagine combining Stephen Thompson and Damian Maia into a fighter, morphing them together into a fighter, bro. How awesome!
Oh my god, I know. Well, yeah. Imagine. Let's throw on whose chin? Can we throw on Mike Perry's chin?
Yeah,
we'll throw Perry's. We'll put Perry's chin on him too.
Habib's wrestling also.
Yeah. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Yeah. I've seen some of those on Instagram, bro. People put like all the different the fighter attributes and like match them all up, man. You guys, actually, let's put a fighter together right now. We got to go from the head down, right? So as far as I would say fighter IQ, I would go with GSP for fighter IQ. Who do you got, Ars, for fighter IQ?
Yeah, GSP. Surprisingly, I would say John Jones is his. I don't agree with his personal decisions, but I think he's a smart fighter. Yeah, John Jones. I put him up there.
Yes, he plays it very safe. He's very smart. Yeah, you got it. You want someone that plays it safe, has good defense. I agree. All right. All right, let's go down to the hands. Whose hands do you want? Who's boxing?
I mean, would you say Francis? I mean, it's kind of a little bit sloppy, but the power is off the charts. You know?
Yeah, he has the power. It's true. But he is sloppy, bro. Those hooks are sloppy, and they don't. Yeah. We'll see how they're gonna work on the top guys like Stipe. You saw what Stipe did to him.
Yeah, I mean, bro, he was like jumping at freaking what's his name? Jorginho. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. What was like the best hands?
Someone says Max Holloway. Max Holloway has some nice hands. He does.
Piotr Jan has pretty good hands.
Yep. I'll tell you who else's hands has been looking really nice. Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar's hands are nasty.
Calvin Kattar, absolutely. Yeah, that's the guy. Calvin Kattar is. Justin Gaethje's hands not so bad.
They're nasty.
Yeah, that was nice what he did against Ferguson. Dustin Poirier has some good combination punches.
Oh yeah.
Conor McGregor's up there too.
Yep. Wrestling, I think it's a sweep, right? We're all gonna say Khabib, huh?
Curtis Blades.
Oh, you like Curtis? Yeah, Curtis looked good in his fight the other night, but I still take Khabib.
Yeah, Khabib probably. I mean, Daniel Cormier. Maybe.
Oh, McGregor, bro. How are we sleeping on Conor McGregor?
Yeah. That's what's up for the hands.
I'll take McGregor for the hands. McGregor for sure.
He knows how to find the chin, bro. He knows how to.
Khabib wrestling. All right, now the legs. Whose kicks? Whose leg kicks and head kicks are you going for?
Justin Gaethje has some nice leg kicks.
He does. Aldo has some nice leg kicks too. But what about you want to mix it up with the head kicks though too, right? Barbosa. I'll go Barbosa.
That spinning what is that? The spinning heel kick? Is that what it is?
Yeah, man. He hit Terry Edom with that. I saw that live in the bar, bro. I had my chicken wings in front of me. I just sat down, I was at a big table. A lot of these people weren't even into the fights. I was like, holy crap, bro! I jumped up. I was like, that was one of the nastiest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
I feel bad for Terry Edom because he's a tough dude. But he's gonna be in highlights for the rest.
Yeah.
The rest of the UFC, bro. Like he's always
for the rest of forever.
Exactly. Like nastiest knockout. Yeah. And so is Ben Askren, bro. Ben Askren.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Me from hell, bro. Oh, Masvidal has pretty nice hands too. Not bad body kicks. Masvidal is nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Who else has nasty?
You know what's a cool way to talk about it too? Like I've seen these Instagram videos where they do like in particular each aspect of the fighter. So for example, you take Mirko Krokop's, I think it's his left. Yeah, his left. The back left kick, bro. That's you take his leg. For the hand, you take Conor McGregor's left hand.
Yeah. Maybe Francis right hand.
Yeah, we'll take Francis Ngannou's right hand.
Yeah.
Who else? Who has a right leg we can mess with? Maybe.
What about an elbow, bro? What about an elbow?
Oh, an elbow. Who has nasty elbows?
Who has the?
I know. I remember Paul Felder's spin. Well, I was spinning back this actually. Oh, Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Yair Rodriguez. Yo, speaking of that, Yair Rodriguez, man, they are targeting that fight, man. Yair Rodriguez. I'm gonna pull it up right now for you guys. Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit.
I was gonna say that Calvin has had that nice elbow knockout against Jeremy Stephens.
Oh, he did. That step-in elbow was nasty, man.
Dude, what do you think about Zabit against what's his name? Yair.
I gotta go at Zabit. It's kind of interesting, right? Because both of these guys fade towards the third round, but both of these guys are just like absolutely electrifying, and they're so unorthodox. Their striking is crazy. I give the grappling edge to Zabit. I think that Zabit's a little bit better of a grappler, a little bit. It's close. I don't know, man. It's an exciting fight, man. I'll tell you what, Yair looked really good in that fight against Jeremy Stephens. Although he faded in the third round, he looked so nasty in that first and second round. I mean, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous fighter.
What if you give Zabit Max Holloway's cardio? Is he a champion?
If you give
Zabit Max Holloway's cardio.
Yeah, I think he might still be a champion even regardless, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's very impressive with like mixing it all together with the flashy kicks, the takedown. Yeah. The only two things he's lacking, in my opinion, is the cardio and then knockout power. I don't think he really has much knockout power. I've seen him knock out one guy. There was like a video up, I think a couple weeks ago. This was like early in his career, but I don't think he really has that knockout power. And that's what hurts him because he doesn't have the cardio or the knockout power. You know, he's always put in that tough situation when you get to the third round.
Yeah, man, I agree. You know what I want to do? I don't know if you guys, I showed my video earlier. There was way less people. We got almost 50 people in here now, which is excellent, bro. I appreciate all you guys that are tuned in right now. We did not have a special guest fighter joining the show today, but I will have one for sure next Thursday and every Thursday moving forward. Was kind of busy, so I just wanted to keep this show a little bit more simple and talk, just all things MMA, from the last week or two. But just for everybody that's new to the show, I'm going to have a fighter every Thursday. Typically, if you guys run the shows back, man, I'll have 2 fighters even in here, sometimes 2 to 3 fighters bouncing in throughout the show. So that's what you can expect here every Thursday. And earlier I debuted my new intro song, man. Shout out to my boy Ryan. He did me a pretty cool intro video. So I'm going to play that for you guys real quick. I thought it was pretty cool, man. And you guys let me know what you think. And I'm still trying to think of a name of the song. I'm going to name it. But let's see if I can pull this up for you guys real quick. Or let them know. Talk something real quick, and I'm going to pull it up.
Yo, what do you guys what does the audience think is going to be fight of the night? I'm guessing Dustin Poirier against what's his name? Dan Hooker. I think that's going to be fight of the night. I feel like Dan Hooker is going to take a lot of shots, and it might end like Edson Barbosa. You remember how Dan Hooker just crumpled over? So I think I wouldn't be surprised if it ends like that, with Dan Hooker just crumpling over in like the 5th round, or he just barely survives, and then Dustin Poirier at the end is just kind of like, you know, styling on Hooker. What do you think?
So it says I got Griff Dawkins fight. A lot of people like that Dawkins fight. I agree too.
Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah, man. A lot of people like that. All right, I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. You guys, let me know. And I need a name to this song. I had one in mind, but I want to see what you guys say too. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Can you hear this, Ars? Let's see. Ready? I'm gonna play it. All right, let me know.
Yeah, I hear it.
All right, guys, let me know what you think.
The teller. The teller. The teller.
It's another day. Left jab, right jab. This is MMA. Mixed martial arts, quick body parts, undefeated when I pick 'em. Who the champ, who the victim? Looking in my crystal ball, I predict the winner. Never stop fighting. If you lose, keep your chin up. You know how the game go. I'm a smart fella. Welcome to the show. This the MMA fortune teller.
Hey, what you guys think? Sneaky Ninja likes it.
Like it, man.
MMA fortune. It's cool, right?
I was thinking of, I don't know, for me, the name that jumps out is like something like Bright Lights or something like that.
Right, Lights.
I
like smart fella because he hits that one lyric. The smart fella, the MMA fortune teller.
I like that. Yeah.
It's cool, man. But yeah, shout out to my boy Ryan. I'll probably bring him on the show moving forward. One of these MMA live discussions. He'll probably pop on for like 5 minutes. I know it's not MMA related, but this dude's a cool dude, man. He's doing his thing. So I appreciate all you guys saying that you like the intro, man. If you listen to the lyrics, it's pretty cool because you don't hear a lot of MMA rap songs. You know what I mean? Like you don't hear a lot of songs talking about MMA and whatnot. I think that's a good idea, man. I actually want to talk to him about that, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys that listen to rap and hip hop, like, you know, for the majority of the songs I listen to, which I love them too, they get me pumped up for the gym, but it's all about like shooting people, killing people, selling drugs, which I love. I love it, right? And I relate to it a lot. But I mean, what could we not relate to more than you know, a song talking about going out to the cage, you know what I'm saying, dropping elbows and slapping on a submission. I think that'd be pretty cool. You don't really hear stuff like that.
There's a couple boxing songs that I know of. I know the Roy Jones song, like, what is it called? Y'all Must Have Forgot.
Yeah.
Can't Be Touched. And there was that one.
City Boy said he got me. Which one? No,
remember? And then the one in the Rocky, was it Rocky Balboa? There was that rap song. Was it 3-6 Mafia? It's a Fight. It's called It's a Fight.
Oh, bro, yeah. I used to listen to all 3-6, bro. All there's everything about it's a fight. It's a fight. Dude, they had 1,000 songs about fighting, killing, dude. That's all 3-6 is about. They're actually big fight fans too. They go to the UFC events and stuff.
Yeah, that would be the first MMA song, man.
I was there, bro. Lachlan says, I was in Vegas for the Khabib McGregor fight. I did not enter the arena. I was actually at a watch show, like a show where we all watched it. It was really cool. So, but just being out there, it was amazing, man. It was an amazing weekend. I had a better time probably than even being in the arena, so it's cool.
How much were tickets for that?
They were crazy. I could have bought them. It wasn't that I couldn't bought them. It was just the fact that I was gonna get tickets that were gonna be way up in the top, and they were still for like almost $1,000. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go because the thing was like I had a major Khabib bet locked in, but when I went out there with some good friends of mine. I had my bet locked in. I had a big play on Alexander Volkov too. I had Alexander Volkov, Khabib, and I had somebody else on that card too. I went two for 3 on that night. And Alexander Volkov screwed me, bro, big time. That was the Derek Lewis fight. For those of you guys that don't remember, I was flipping out. Yeah, Khabib. But the thing was, man, I was just like, you know, we were out partying, bro. You know what I mean? We were going out and doing our thing too. So I mean, I would have loved to have been inside the octagon or inside the arena. But it was super expensive, which whatever I could have paid, but would have been up in the rafters. And I ended up having a great time anyway. But probably next time, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll go in.
I was thinking, I feel like Volkov, dude, he would be amazing if he learned how to like get some nasty submission attempts. Like if he could just like bring up, I know he's like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but if he could become, obviously he's not going to get to the level like we're Doom or something like that, but still just have that threat off your back. He has those long legs. And, you know, if he was at least trying to throw submissions at Curtis Blades, you know, Curtis would have maybe, you know what I mean? Like that, like he'd be a pretty tough, because right now, like I don't see him having the takedown defense to stop people like Blades, people like Stipe, people like DC. But if he had the submission threat off his back, you know, he could really go up there, like in the ranks. Like,
yo, hey, you already know what Daniel Cormier or Stipe would do to him. I'll tell you that much.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it would be ugly. It would be ugly. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Curtis Blades has excellent wrestling too, but Cormier is just so technical. It wouldn't even have been about the strength. You know what I mean? Like Cormier would just be like under those hips, man. Just forget about it. I would even expect Cormier to actually possibly even get a finish. Maybe I don't know. You know. But and Stipe, you already know too, whooping him up,
dude. But what do you think about Blades versus Cormier? I actually think Blades has a good shot against Cormier because of the size. Even though Cormier is a more technical wrestler, Blades does have a lot of muscle on him, and he could just take him down strength-wise. You know,
he's bigger. He's definitely bigger.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if you would get the takedown. I think that their grappling might nullify themselves for a little bit, and we might start to see like who has that power in the boxing. You know, is Blades going to be able to strike with Cormier? I think it might come down to that. When you get two guys that have really good wrestling like that, I think Cormier's wrestling is better, but Blades is a bigger guy, so that edges him a little bit. Like it kind of evens the playing field, and you start to see guys, you know, stuffing takedowns, and then you see who has the better cardio and who has the better striking.
And then you know, adding on to that, we saw Cormier take down Stipe. Like he even picked him up, remember, and he kind of like slammed him. You know, would Blades be able to take down Stipe? You know what I mean? Like that's what I was just thinking about. I mean, Blades might have the makings of a champion. I don't know. Like I mean, obviously,
I would take Stipe there all day. I just think that Stipe's gas tank will look. Yeah, I saw Blades. I think Blades showed a couple chinks in his armor. To be honest, he gassed out in that fight. And Stipe Miocic is not Alexander Volkov. I think that Stipe would be actually making you pay. I think that's where you start to see, like, you know, body shots. You know, Stipe starts throwing body shots and starts taking you out. You guys, I just posted the link. Anybody that wants to join the show too, man. Always for people that are new here and whatnot, I drop the link periodically, and you guys are always more than welcome to hop in too, man. But yeah, man, I would love to see that stuff.
I feel like I'm thinking now, like. Now thinking about it, I think Stipe's only vulnerability, and I don't know if he fixed it, is in the clinch. Because remember when Cormier he got out of the clinch and knocked him out? He clipped him. Yeah, he clipped him. That was a funky shot. It was weird. But Cormier claimed that Stipe doesn't defend well coming out of the clinch. That's why he said he caught him. He said that like that was planned. Again, I don't know if that's he could just be talking.
Yeah, it's hard to argue it, right? Because I mean, he executed that beautifully. In my opinion, I think it was more of just a weird shot, like an awkward. Like that's the example of when you talk about when you have two heavyweight fighters in there, anything could happen at any given time, even more so. And you're talking about, you know, two heavyweight guys throwing power. And Stipe, you know, we saw Stipe get finished by Stefan Struve on the feet. That was so long ago. And then the Cormier knockout. But for the most part, I wouldn't say Stipe has any problems with his chin. You know, Ngannou tagged him a little bit. You know, Ngannou caught him a little bit, and he was eating it, rolling with the punches, and then eventually got the takedown. So
I meant his clinch, not his chin, but just like coming out of the clinch, he's a little vulnerable. You know
okay,
I mean?
Like he's a little slow to get his hands up.
Like he was coming out of the he didn't have his hands up, and then Cormier popped him. But I don't see any like, and I think, I mean, I don't know what you think, but I was looking at the line for Cormier and Stipe, and it looks like a pick'em right now. It's like -112 on the site that I saw. So, but I don't know. I feel like Stipe, you know, he knows Cormier's vulnerability, and Cormier's vulnerability to those body shots has always been there. And he's like 40-something years old now, so I don't think he's going to change and be able to stop that body shot now. You know what I mean? Like, if he would have stopped, like if he would have evolved and been able to avoid that body shot, he would have stopped that a while ago. Because remember, like Silva exposed that body shot vulnerability. I think he body kicked him pretty hard. So
Maciso says, let's not forget it's pandemic Blades.
Oh yeah.
I mean, something to take into consideration, right? I mean, these fighters really might not be at this point, though. I think these guys are starting really to get back in the mix of things. I think they're grabbing a couple, and if they're not, you know what? Then it shows you that they have some mental lapses in their game anyway, because at this point you should have at least 2 to 3 training partners that you trust, that you guys are disciplined enough that you guys stay away from the rest of the world and you guys just train together. So, I mean, actually, I think he's training over at Team Elevation, and I think that those guys are all just doing their thing. Yeah. I don't know. I could be wrong, but good point though. Good point, Masiso. And then someone else brought up a good point.
But it also favors Blades because of the smaller cage, though. So that's another thing to take into account. So because of the small cage, Blades being a credentialed wrestler, that kind of favors him. So, once we come back to the bigger cage, it might actually be worse for Blades.
Mm-hmm. Yo, and you know what's crazy? I've been watching fight tape, and it's so funny. I always analyze the octagon nowadays because now, you almost pay more attention to it, right? The size of the octagon since this. And I was watching all this fight tape in the big octagon, and I was like, you know what, man? I miss that big octagon. You know what? I know the smaller octagon gives you a little bit more exciting fights or whatnot, but there's nothing like a championship match that's in the large octagon, and it gives them more opportunities to work their skills, I believe, their footwork and angles and whatnot. I love the big octagon. Not for every fight. I think the small octagon's perfect for some of these smaller fight cards, Yeah.
Yo, that actually part of that reason is why I put in for last fight, man, I so regret playing it, is I try to put the under 2.5 bet for the fight, what's his name? For the Emmett Burgos fight and for the Volkov Blades fight, because I'm like, yo, small cage, Burgos and Emmett are going to be coming at each other. Someone's going to get knocked out. Of course, I was wrong on that one. And Volkov against Blades, I was like, yo, like these guys are heavyweights. Blades is going to come in there, he's going to like ground and pound him, or Volkov's going to be able to avoid it. And like Volkov is a bunch of first round knockouts. And of course, my dumb ass, I get screwed on both.
Yeah. Logan says, you think the small cage will help Dustin a lot more. Won't let Hooker stay at range as much and play his distance striking. I agree. Could help Poirier. I do agree. I think it leads them to have some more exchanges in the pocket, or actually clashing. And I think that those benefit Poirier for sure. And also, here's another thing just to think about too. The smaller octagon is going to make them push a higher pace, and the higher pace, I think that benefits Poirier. I think that Dustin has better cardio. I feel strong about that, actually. I really do. I feel extremely strong about that. So mark my words, I said that here. I think that when this fight hits the 4th and 5th rounds, I definitely expect Dustin Poirier to be the guy pushing the pace and really being the aggressor, starting to tag Hooker up. We saw it in that 4th round with Paul Felder. Dustin Poirier, he's on another level than Paul Felder inside in the octagon that night. It's a different type of fighter. I mean, Hooker could have worked on those aspects of the game, but Dustin's over here at American Top Team working on that too. So don't worry about it.
And I think you touched upon this earlier, but I feel like Hooker needs to work on his striking defense. Like I was, I had money also on Hooker that night, and actually he was like, I had some like free money on DraftKings, so I played that big four pick parlay, and he was my parlay, and like a couple times I thought that Felder was gonna knock Hooker out, like towards the 3rd and 4th, like the
fourth
round, yeah. Felder was hitting him with some hard shots, and even bro, at the very end, I wasn't that confident. Like when I heard split decision, I'm just like praying. I'm like, please, come on, like don't just give it to Hooker, give it. And luckily he got it. But well,
you can never trust these judges.
Exactly. But I'm saying that like I would not have been surprised if Felder would have knocked out Hooker in like round 3 or 4.
Because he tagging him. Yeah, he opens himself up for some shots. But I will say this much, and I stand strongly behind this. Anybody wants to rewatch that tape? I just rewatched it the other day. If you don't think that Hooker won 3 of those 5 rounds, you guys are crazy. I thought Hooker convincingly won the 1st round. Yep. Not even a question. Convincingly won the 5th round. Not even a question. Unless you're really, really going for a reach because you wanted Felder to win that fight. Look at the 5th round, man. Hooker I think he got a takedown, I believe. I'm trying to remember. He got pushed against the cage. He took that round, and then it was the 2nd round, I believe. 2nd or 3rd. I believe it was the 2nd. But Hooker, I forget exactly which round it was. But either way, he won 3 rounds, period. I remember I was like, that's it. No question. Yeah.
And I think Felder convincingly won 3 and 4.
Yes, and specifically the 4th. And that's what happened. So people saw Felder beating up Hooker in the 4th round, and they saw him like taking over the fight for that round. and they really thought like, oh yeah, he's whooping him, and he was hitting him with more like, he was hitting him with the power shots with his hands. It looked really good, but at the end of the day, that's just one round. That's a round, and he did win the other round too. I gave him the other round. I think it was the third, but that's 2 rounds.
And it wasn't like a 10-8 or anything like that. It was still like he won, but by a little bit. And I definitely agree with you. Actually, I remember at the end of the 5th round when Hooker got that last takedown, I was like, I was like 80%, 90% confident that he won the fight, especially knowing that they were in New Zealand. I was like, yo, he got this. But then when I heard split decision, I'm like, oh snap, man! Like this is gonna end bad right now. And then luckily, but then I remembered like it's New Zealand, so I had I felt like
you have to take that into consideration too, right? Yeah. I mean, it's in Dan Hooker's hometown. How do you that's the thing, man. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. How can you not give him that fight when he definitely, in my opinion, won the 3 rounds, even if one of them was somewhat close? Even if it's 50-50, I mean, the entire crowd's in the arena. They're making noise every time he hits them. And you can't rob him, right? Not that it would be a robbery, but you can't not give him the bout when he did that performance, when he gave that performance in his hometown. You have to give him the victory there. So I mean, I would have been shocked if he didn't get the victory.
Actually, I feel like that's something that you definitely have to take into account when betting. And actually, I was thinking about that. I remember when I threw him in there, I was like, yo, I think I remember I heard your analysis on it, and I was also thinking, I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel like it's pretty close, but I'm like, I think Hooker, having the crowd on his side, it being in New Zealand, I think that just pushes it over the edge. Like I think that that if it's going to be close, Dan Hooker is going to get the W. You know what I mean? So that's what I don't know. I remember that being part of my thought process too. Like I feel like hometown crowd definitely.
It's usually good for you, unless you're a Lucy Putty lover and you're in the Czech Republic. Because I don't know if you remember that in Prague. That was the craziest fight ever, bro. It was in Prague. It was one fight card we had in Prague in the Czech Republic. And Lucy Putty-Love is from the Czech Republic. The entire crowd's rooting her on, and she, in my opinion, she clearly won 2 rounds, 2-1, and they gave it to the other girl. I forget if it was a split or whatnot, and I forget who the opponent was. The opponent was, I forget who it was. It was a grappler. But Sean Tuma says Felder would have won if he got a 10-8 in the 5th, which is what he was on his way to until Hooker got a last-minute, completely gassed out lucky takedown in the 5th. I would have to disagree with that, bro. I don't know, man. I would have to disagree with that, man. From what my remembrance of just watching it not too long ago, the 5th round was extremely close, and I thought that there wasn't a lot of action in it, actually. And then I think you're thinking of the 4th round, bro. I think you're thinking of the 4th round for a 10-8.
Yeah, I think, the 4th round, because I think he may have gotten a takedown there. And I feel like the other thing I also want to mention is that I feel like people – don't really respect leg kicks. Like I remember Dan Hooker hit Felder with a lot of leg kicks, and people I feel like a lot of people just see that and they're like, oh, that's nothing. Like let's say, you hit someone with 3 leg kicks and they punch you in the face once. Like everyone says, oh, yo, that guy hit you in the face once, man. He won. He did more damage. But I'm like, yo, what about the 3 leg kicks? Oh, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people don't take into account leg kicks. Like they're just like, it's like, if you get like in your mind, let's say you hit someone in the face, you get like 3 points. But if you hit someone in the legs, you get like half a point. I feel like a lot of people.
Yeah. I agree with that. At least a half point. Yeah, like a half point. That's about right, actually. Yeah. Half, maybe 1. I agree. But I think that's kind of what it should be. I think a nice, not like an overhand power shot, but even like a nice crisp straight. I think that should count more than even a nasty leg kick. If you clip someone right in the jaw, boom, you know what I'm saying? Like that's even if you throw a nasty leg kick, it's got to weigh a little bit more.
But I feel like Hooker hit him with a lot of leg kicks, though. I just remember
Luke coming through with the truth.
Yeah, like I remember that first round, and I remember even the commentators were talking about that, like, oh man, Dan Hooker's hitting him with those leg kicks. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay. And actually, I was surprised. I was like, what the hell? How's this guy, Paul Felder, swinging hard in round 3 and 4 when Hooker just hit him with like 100 leg kicks? Like, I was surprised. I mean, Paul Felder, first of all, I don't even know how he makes that weight class because Paul Felder is freaking jacked, man. Just like him, bro. Those guys are like ripped.
He fought Perry at welterweight, right?
Maybe he did. But, bro, I have no idea how that guy makes 155. I have no idea how Burgos makes 145 because Josh Emmett is jacked also. And, bro, he looked smaller, visibly smaller than Burgos. Burgos just looked like
Burgos is a beast. He's big. Yeah, Burgos is a big boy.
Like, how the hell do you make that weight? Like, I mean, you probably have no water in your body when you're on that scale.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like, remember Gleason Tebow, who I met? I have a picture with Gleason. Gleason Tebow is a guy, bro. He's humongous for I think the lightweight division. Yeah. It's like, how the hell, bro? And I seen him in person, bro. Dude, I was chilling with Gleason Tebow. I have pictures, bro. It was Bare Knuckle FC, the main event. Dude, that's when I bought this shirt. Dude, I bump into Gleason Tebow, Pedro Munoz, bro. I looked at them, bro. I was like, what's up, man? You know, big fan. And we locked eyes, bro. I had my big old beer. I was probably double fisting. They had drinks in their hand. They looked at me, Gleason Tebow and Pedro Munoz. Dude, they looked at me on the same level, bro. Their eyes were all red. They're like, they had their drinks. They're like, let's go. Dude, we watched the main event, bro. It was, what was the main event again? It was Hector Lombard versus this other guy, David something. Dude, we were jumping up and down, bro. We had our arms around each other like this. Bro, we were like this, jumping up and down, giving each other high fives. Dude, they're cool dudes, bro. Gleason and Pedro Munoz are cool dudes, bro. They go out, they have a good time. They definitely do. I'm sure they're super professional. They know how to enjoy life, though, too, man. Those are guys I should reach out. I should probably maybe if you guys want, I could bring those guys on the show for sure, man. I've messaged them and stuff. I didn't reach out to them to get them on the show. I should. Who wants to see Pedro Munoz or Gleason Tebow? Let me know. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I was gonna say that also. I mean, Pedro's is a tough dude, man. He's definitely he's definitely up there in the bantamweight rankings. I mean, he's a great fighter. Yeah. But yo, I don't know how
Frankie Edgar's next for Munoz.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yo, I don't know how Rumble made 170.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's the craziest. Dude, I saw him fight. There was this one guy that he fought. The first fight was like a DQ with an eye poke, and then they had a rematch, and then Johnson knocked him out in that rematch. It was a long time ago, man, and almost a decade ago. But yeah, that was at 170 pounds, bro, like you said. And I'm like, well, I mean, back then you don't really realize. I never really realized that he was like a giant welterweight because he was actually way smaller. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a naturally smaller guy, but obviously there's something else going on with that guy, bro. He's a heavyweight fighter. I mean, he's really – I think that if he's disciplined, he should be a 205er. And if you remember, he first went from 170 to 185, and he was missing weight. You're like, how the hell – yo, something happened with that guy. And I'll tell you something. This is what I think about Anthony Johnson. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know, but I'm just saying – what happened with him was extremely abnormal. You don't go from fighting in the welterweight division multiple times to all of a sudden you can't make the weight, so you bump up to middleweight. You're supposed to fight Vitor Belfort, and you miss weight, right? He misses weight in the Vitor Belfort fight by like 5 pounds. How are you making 170, but then all of a sudden you're hitting the scales at 190? So that's extremely weird. That's a 20-pound differential. And then all of a sudden he's like, I can't even do middleweight. He couldn't even make middleweight anymore. So how do you go up to the next weight class and you still can't make that weight class? Then you got to go up to 205. And he even fought at heavyweight against Andrei Arlovski over at World Series of Fighting. Something's up with that. I think something was weird with his body, bro. Some type of supplement, bro, something.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to throw shade, but like, it's suspicious. His head looks like a bowling ball now.
Yes.
Like, he got bigger.
Yes.
Like, if your skull grows, I mean, I don't want to say anything, but you know, like
something's up with that, bro.
Yeah, because your skull, as a man, your skull is not going to grow over time. Your skull just can't grow. That only happens when you take one.
Hey, guess what his passion, one of his major passions, became after he left the fight game. Guess,
bro.
Bodybuilding.
280 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
I looks like he could be competing for like Mr. Olympia. But
what a coincidence, right?
Yeah, of course.
So check this out, though. I just saw him, bro. I should have got a picture with his ass, bro. Just saw him again at this Bare Knuckle FC event, bro. Was walking out the doors from the arena. Like there was like a lobby around the arena that it was. Saw him, bro, with the owner, David Feldman. And dude, I walked up to him. He was not friendly at all, bro. Not friendly to me at all. Anthony, bro, I walk up to him. I was like, what's up, bro? He was looking to be in phenomenal shape, bro. He wasn't blown up like, the one he got all big. It wasn't like that at all. He trimmed back down, bro. He's trimmed down. And I was like, what's up? We're going to see you back in there? He's like, we'll see. He's like, we'll see. He told me, like, keep an eye. We'll see. So he's open to it. But and he looked shredded, bro. I mean, jacked up, but shredded. He didn't – remember he ballooned up for a little bit? He looked like a blimp. Remember that picture with the moon face?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I'm pulling it up.
Yo, that's another side effect of certain stuff. Your face starts looking like a balloon, and then you have giant muscles. I mean, certain stuff makes you have that. No, I'm serious.
You talking about like this? Hold up. Is this what you're talking about, Ars?
Yo, bro, I saw his face. I'm like, you know how sometimes like yeah, bro. Like, bro, he has a fat guy's face. You know what I mean? Like a very overweight man's face.
Bro, you look at his face there compared to when he was in the welterweight division, bro. It's crazy, dude.
Dude, you could literally take his head and roll it down the bowling alley. Bro,
you're gonna get a strike no matter what, bro. Even if you're wide right, you're still knocking every pin out.
Yeah. Yo, bro, imagine they allowed headbutts in MMA, bro. He would be like Mark Coleman, bro. He just that's it,
bro. Hey, they used to, right? They used to. You remember that, bro? Back in the old days, I think it was. Yeah, of course. In the first, but you know what? Yeah, it was like UFC, all of them from the beginning. But there was one particular, bro. The guy was throwing nasty headbutts.
Was it Mark Coleman?
I don't know if it was Coleman. Was it?
Because I know he was like the most famous headbutt guy that I remember. Headbutts, bro. Yo, it's
that's yo. I'll tell you a crazy story, bro. One time, I won't go too much into detail, but one time when I was younger, bro, in high school, a buddy of mine who was, forget about it, bro. Like I'm talking about, he was on steroids, all that. He was jacked up, bro. This guy, he was an older dude. One of my best friend's older brother. Dude, this guy was a beast, bro. Like a power lifter. He goes up. He was being an idiot. Honestly, we're at the beach and he goes up to some girl he sees with the guy. You know, he's like being a dick. We were young, and starts hitting on the guy's girlfriend. And then all of a sudden we all look over, but we were kind of busy, but we're like laughing. We didn't think nothing of it, bro. This guy was small too, bro. He wasn't even that big, right? The guy looks at him, and I guess basically what happened, I ended up finding out later. He said something to him, "Oh, it's my girl," whatever. And he's like, "Oh, so what?" You know, yo, this dude, I like seen it in my peripheral vision, dude. The guy goes boom, dude. He gave him the way they call it, the Scottish kiss, whatever. He goes boom, bro, up and catches my boy in the nose. I just like seen that, look over, immediately, bro, just bloods everywhere, and I just see my boy go in, start whooping him up, and then I run over there with his brother, and his girlfriend screaming and whatever. You know, like the guy regretted doing it, but like at that, you know, he got beat up pretty bad. But then, you know, we leave, and like, you know, my boy's laughing. My boy Chad, he's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "That dude got me good, bro." I mean, his shirt was red. It was his shirt turned into like a blood handkerchief, bro. But he was laughing because obviously, whatever, you know, it was funny. We jumped back in the car, we left, but like, he's like, "Dude, I got to take note of that move." That's when I realized as a kid, I was like, holy shit, bro, a headbutt is no joke. If you catch somebody with a headbutt to the nose, yo, I'll tell you a sick story, bro. On my birthday, I probably turned like 25 or whatever. I was young too, man, a little knucklehead. Yo, this guy deserves. So you guys do not hate on me for this. I'm in downtown Fort Lauderdale, America's backyard, and I'm just hanging out, having a good time, bro. And I guess I walked up to the circle of crowd. I started talking to somebody, I guess it was a girl. I started talking, and some guy comes up like on the side of me, and he's like, "Bro," he's like, "Does anybody know you over here?" He's like, "Get the fuck out of here." Like that, bro, straight to my face. Like, "Get the fuck out of here." Dude, I had a fresh Burberry collar shirt on, bro. My cousin gave to me, and I looked over at him, bro. I turned around because I was completely respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was near her anyway, whatever. Like nobody was. I was just walking around the bar drunk. But I'm not like a belligerent drunk, bro. Like when I go around, I'm a respectful guy, bro, you know? So I looked at him. I said, "Dude, I didn't even have any clue." I said, "Bro," you know, he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Fuck you." Like right in my face, bro. This guy was belligerent. Like, you wanted to fight. Dude, so I turned, and this is when I was like really practicing this move, bro, like on the pads every day. So you know how it is when you do something in repetition, like constantly throughout the week, bro, like you're ready to go. So I turned southpaw stance because I'm an orthodox fighter, but I like to use my right elbow. And I turned southpaw. And I just like, "Dude, should I do it?" I was going to give him like a chance to like kind of back down, whatever. I was like, "Yo, you serious?" And he was like dead serious. Like, "Fuck you." Dude, I just threw. I like to throw like this inside, like step in up elbow. You know what I'm saying? Just if they're not expecting it, bro, you could whip it, bro. Like, boom, and just, and, you know, catch him with it. Dude, as soon as I hit him with it, bro, I didn't even see what happened. I guess all of his boys were watching me. I didn't realize because remember I said it was a circle of them. So as soon as I hit him with it, bro, I just got boom, boom, boom. I'm getting like punched up. But dude, the kid who I hit with it, his blood was all over my shirt. And because I had him like in a clinch, you know, I'm like falling on him as all his boys are punching me. And I just see all his blood going everywhere, bro. I didn't get to see what I caught him with, but like the elbow just, dude, forget it. Elbows are, dude, split him open. But then all his boys started getting me, but they couldn't even do crap. You know, I was grabbing chairs, and then the security grabbed me. I'm like, "It's my birthday. Check my ID. These kids just try to jump me." He's like, "Just do me a favor and go to another bar." Then I walked down Fort Lauderdale, dude, the strip I had a ripped up Burberry shirt, blood all over it. And my night was just starting, and I was by myself, bro. I had a crew for my birthday. We were like 5 cars that we headed out there. So I'm like 20 something deep. Luckily for all those kids, nobody even saw what happened because I was being a nutcase running around. I finally find everybody like, what the hell happened to you, bro? Because I was going nuts. I was on Red Bull. And dude, they're like, what'd you do already? I'm like, don't worry about it. Let's go party. Dude, and I was just the whole night, bro, because it was my birthday, so forget it. We were in every club. But the elbow, bro, the stepping elbow or, an uppercut, a headbutt, dude, I'm telling you, it's not it's not to be exaggerated, bro. Like, they cause a different type of damage, bro. It's the bone, like, and the head is heavy, bro. Your head is heavy, man. And if you're going to do a headbutt, go for the nose. Oh, one more quick headbutt story. I got in a fight with my brother one time. The only time I've ever had my nose, it didn't break, but he deviated my septum. And up in FSU, I was living with my brother. My brother's a nutcase too. We were fighting over some stupid shit. We started wrestling in the bathroom, bro, and I went to slam him in the bathtub, and he posted up. He didn't want to go in. I was about to get him, but just my older brother, mind you, as a kid, he used to always throw me in the shower. Shout out to everyone that knows what I'm talking about, bro. When you're fighting with your brother, if you get him in the bathtub, you hold him down and you put the shower on. My older brother always did that to me. I got him once or twice. Yo, this time I was going to get him, and he knew he was about to trip, bro. His leg was giving out. He was leaning. So he fucking gave me a cheap shot, bro. Headbutt to my nose, which was the grimiest thing. I would never do that to my brother, but he did. Dude, as soon as you get hit in the nose, and you know this, even if you've been punched in the nose, you can't open your eyes, bro. If you get hit really good, you can't open your eyes, and then you're just like, dude, you're out of it, bro. Your head's ringing. My nose was like going like a faucet. But the nose, man, the nose.
Dude, I had a similar thing where, I remember in college in the dorms, like, I ended up arguing with this dude over the remote, and he had me in like, he just grabbed me in like a really awkward position. Like, he had me in a headlock, and I was in a terrible position. But somehow, I don't know if I hit him with my elbow or if I punched him in the nose, and then he just started bleeding all over his face, and he ended up letting go, and whatever. And then he ended up like just getting angry and like leaving. But like, dude, like, anytime he hit the nose, and again, like, I was in a really compromised position. Like, he had me in like some kind of headlock, and like I was just like, because like he basically got me from behind while I was sitting on the couch. So he put me in a headlock, and he was like pushing me down. And I don't know what I hit him with, like an elbow or like a punch. As soon as they hit the nose, bro, that's it. It was done. Like, he was just covered in blood and shit.
Yo,
dude,
I'm sorry, go again.
Bro, oh my God, I remember, I had a terrible one. When I was a little kid, I was fighting this kid, and bro, and like, I was getting the better of him, and bro, he hit me with a rock on the head. He threw a rock at my head. Oh no. Oh my God, bro.
The rock's a good way to go too.
I was like, I don't think I even knew where I was. I ended up walking home, and I ended up feeling my head, and I had like blood on my head, and I was like, Jesus, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Like,
Tim R says, what beach? I live by Lauderdale by the sea. There was Deerfield Beach right off Hillsborough, right by the right there. You know where the pier is? If you go straight now, it's all fixed up nice, but back in the day, it was how it used to look. But Deerfield Beach, right in front of the pier, right by those bathrooms that all went down. Hope it wasn't you, Tim. I'm sorry if it was you, brother. Imagine Tim's like, that happened to me back in 2007. That was 2007. 2007.
Yo, but you think about MMA, how, now with like MMA, it's like, it's much closer to real fights. So like, before we had stuff like boxing or like just straight up wrestling or like karate. Now you're having stuff that's much closer to real fight. But like you said, like, there's still certain moves like the headbutt and stuff that like.
Oh, those are different. Yeah. Street fights are. And I'll tell you some other ones too, bro. Nut shots, bro. That's for real, bro. Dude, that's for real. You can like. I mean, honestly though, from my experience, sometimes the adrenaline's going, so you're not really gonna. It's kind of weird. You have to really catch somebody good, but you can startle them, bro. Like, dude, one time I think I mentioned the story, but I had a big guy I was fighting, and this was way before my real training, but I would throw. Forget about a leg kick. I'm talking about a straight up kick, like right up the, if they're coming at you, they're charging. You could throw it right up the middle, bro, and then step in with an elbow, just like boom, boom. But like, I'm talking about some sloppy, all not trained style. But dude, you can connect with that. I've been there. Trust me, I've done it. Dude, street fights are crazy. Oh, and I'll tell you another one too, bro. I've been in a fight before. Dude, I was literally a fight with this kid, bro. He was gouging my eye, and I was gouging his fucking eye, bro. Dude, we were literally trying to rip each other's eyes out, bro, at a house party in the fucking living room in front of everybody. Girls are screaming, oh my God. Dude, we're literally ripping each other's eyes out, bro. And I mean, I feel like I was trying pretty good. I'm pretty sure he was. Luckily, nobody's eyes got pulled out. But dude, my eye, if you would have seen my eye the next day, and I'm sure forget about how his eye looked too, I ended up choking the dude out too, bro. Like I took his back and started choking him and everyone broke it up. But actually, that's how it all started too. I was taking his back, bro, this is when I was training, like legit. I was sinking in my chokes and he started sticking his hands back, bro, ripping my eye like so bad, bro, that I had to like break out of it and started ripping his eye. Dude, it was crazy. My eye the next day, bro, was like you couldn't even, dude, it was like all red, bloodshot. It was all, fingers. You could see the black and blue, the finger marks, like just, dude, eye gouges are bad, bro.
Dude, what if I just thought about this. I've never done this, or I would never want to do this. But let's say if you had a bigger guy who's whooping your ass, what if you just grab their balls and try to rip them out?
I'm sure it could work. I'll tell you one that I think that could work.
You know what I mean?
You might have to, but I'll tell you another trick, bro, that one of my training partners, one of my kind of a coach of mine used to teach me, and it really fucking works good. Palm to the nose, dude. Palm to the nose, bro. Like you can literally, dude, if you try it in training, bro, if you push really hard on someone's nose, dude, their head is going to go that way. And I'm surprised you don't see it more often, actually. I don't know if it's banned or not, bro.
In the UFC. Wouldn't you think they would use it in pancreas or something? Or maybe because. But
is it banned in the octagon? I don't think it's banned in the octagon because I'm not talking about like palm strikes to the nose. I'm talking about like this is like you press upon it. You reach back because when someone is really hard, you got to move your head. And when you move your head, that's how you get, the body follows the head. That's how we used to train when I used to learn jiu-jitsu and whatnot from this one dude. And it really would work really good, man. Sometimes I would finally take position on him and he would always fucking go in for my nose and start turning my head. But you know what? I don't know. You don't see it in the octagon that much. I'm kind of curious about that.
That is weird. Yeah, like certain shots, man, are just like are devastating, man. Like, what do you think about like the low calf kick? Is that I love it. I love it. Almost like a video game cheat code. You know what I mean? You hit them.
It is, but I think there's a reason why you see certain fighters are able to do it, and some other fighters can't do it. I don't think it's as easy as people think. I think a lot of people they always think like, oh, just throw that calf kick, bro, and then they can't walk on it. I think that it actually comes with a lot of training. You got to really know how to hit that perfect angle on it, and also I think that there's certain fighters that you can that are exposed to that don't have that leg defense too, man. They don't know how to check kicks and whatnot too. That really just they're heavy on that front leg and they leave it just sitting there. There's some guys that have good defense for that, but I think it's nasty. You see guys get hit with that calf kick and they're not the same fighter from the third or fourth kick. They're not the same fighter. You start seeing they can't put pressure on it. It messes with their head. I love it. I love that strike.
That's what Gaethje said he's going to do to Khabib. He said he's going to hit him with that low calf kick.
I could see him doing it, and I could see him stuffing the takedowns too, and I could see him beating Khabib. I really could. What's up, Bodley? What's up, Bodley Swagger?
Dude,
I appreciate you, brother.
You know what I was thinking about? Possibly a good move in a street fight is the knee stomp, because no one's going to expect you. Like if you keep your distance and just do the knee stomp, you know what I mean? You could do it with your right leg, with your outside leg, and then the inside leg. You just keep stomping the knee because no one really knows, especially if it's like, an average Joe, they're not going to know about the knee stomp. You know what I mean? You dislocate their knee and or whatever. And
that would mess with you for sure. If anybody wants to come in the chat, it's always there, man. It's open for you guys. Mike S, brother, I appreciate you. You guys, Fight Companion is going down this Saturday. It's going down, man. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys, grabbing a drink and enjoying a profitable card. We need a profitable card this weekend, and I feel like this is the one. The card's crazy, man. A lot of heavy favorites, big time heavy favorites. And let's pull up the lines real quick. Take a look. Because it's crazy, man. Some of these guys, I do believe that they should win these fights, but I don't know, man. Some of these lines are pretty crazy.
Yeah, last week was the underdog. A lot of underdog pulling the card.
Yeah, man.
The one thing I had right was, other than the Raquel Pennington, which you said was the Tisha Torres.
Tisha Torres, she looked great in that fight.
I was surprised.
That was a fight I didn't want anything to do with, but I just felt like I thought Van Buren. Tisha Torres needed to show me something. I couldn't take her because I know Van Buren's tough, and honestly, she still showed to me that she's a tough girl. I think that she's gonna take a lot of girls down. Mark my word, Van Buren's gonna wrestle fuck a lot of girls. She is. You guys can see the lines here, right?
Yeah. I
mean, honestly, I was hoping some money is going to come back in on Hooker. I was hoping, but right now Poirier is, it's up there. But Mike Perry, up to minus 300. How about the Kyle Dawkins line, man? There's been a lot of guys in this chat talking about Kyle Dawkins. So all those guys that have been saying Dawkins pulling off that sub, Let's see it, bro. Put your money where your mouth is. Put that sub prop bet out there. If anybody knows, what's the prop bet right now? Where's that line at on that Kyle Dawkins sub?
At that point, I mean, if you're already getting plus 250, why would you like mess it up? Like, what if he gets a knockout, or what if he gets like a decision edge? You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's dumb.
Unless it's crazy. Yeah, I agree. But unless it's crazy value. Yeah. And honestly, though, do we see Kyle Dawkins winning this fight any other way besides submission? You think he can hang with Allen? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
Allen's good, bro.
I would, in that case, if it were me personally, like, let's say you were able to get like plus like 500 on that, right? For stuff, right? Let's say in that scenario, I would put maybe like the majority on just money line, and then just put a little bit on the prop bet, just in case. You know what I mean? Like, or just figure out some mathematical way. Maybe like do like, like 70% on money line, 30% on the prop bet, or 60-40, or whatever number. But like, I wouldn't just.
What about Julian Erosa?
Bro, I got screwed.
Juicy J.
No, I was gonna say that, dude. I've gotten screwed on prop bets before, where I called the fight right, but like I've gotten screwed on prop bets.
Oh yeah, that can get you for sure.
I've also hit really nice prop bets too, so it's like, you know what I mean. But
no, they're tricky. I tend to stay away from them. This might be the type of card though where a prop bet may be needed because there's some high lines. But Julian Erosa, you can get him at plus 365. That's crazy, right? Sean Woodson is a guy that's only had 7 professional fights, and he looked so good in that last fight, but it was against Kyle Bochniak. So it's like, you got to be a believer of him or not. And I kind of think he's the real deal in some ways. I think that his reach advantage and his striking is definitely like, it's an X factor. You don't really see guys doing what he's doing in that division. And it's just, I don't know, man. That's a high line. I don't know how I would feel about him there at minus 510 in like a crazy parlay. Imagine you have thousands of dollars on that parlay. I mean, obviously you guys know anything can happen in the fight game, but Sean Woodson's a guy that's really, he hasn't been there. He hasn't been there in his career. We got to see a guy that's going in, shooting in on takedowns. Julian Erosa is a guy though that's more of an unorthodox, wannabe Dominic Cruz, switching stances, throwing wild stuff. He's going to engage. He's going to engage full time. He's going to fight you. He has decent grappling, nothing crazy. I mean, you would expect that Woodson is probably going to knock him out.
I mean, I guess in that scenario, then might as well just play the, possibly play the what is it called, the prop bet by knockout. Because I mean, minus 510. I mean, I don't know, unless you're how many like you're gonna have to put at least maybe even like a 3 parlay to get even odds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, that's minus 510 is a little crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
In that scenario, like where you said that like the guy only has like 7 professional fights. Like, I understand getting Amanda Nunes at like minus 510. You know what I mean? Or someone who's proven themselves, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I just put the link for you, Will. I will say this though. I'm going to close the show. I'm going to try to keep these shows right about an hour, 45 minutes moving forward. Just about 2 hours tops. Will, you're more than welcome to hop in here though. For a minute with us and say what's up. Obviously, we got the fight companion going down. Will, if you want to join me and Ars, hop in with us. But I'm probably gonna, we'll keep it limited and then we'll close the show out here in a minute. Looking forward to the fight Saturday, Mike S says, man. I am for sure, bro. I look forward to watching these fights with you guys too, man. I really look forward to these Saturdays. So I don't know if Will's still with us, but Ars, you got any closing words until Saturday?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, man, I'm definitely never missing one of the fight companions because I'm mad. I was actually in the city in New York City, and when I was back, I was like, I try to make back the losses by putting that under 2.5 bets. And I feel like if I would have been on the show, I would have jumped in on the Bilal Muhammad and the Josh Emmett, and I would have made the money back. So I'm pissed that I missed the show, and I had a feeling too. I'm like, I'm probably gonna be coming back from the city way. I'll miss the show. I'm like, it's all right, whatever. I'll still be good. But
it happens. Yeah, we ended up doing it on the fight companion. You could run it back too, bro. We all hit Bilal. Yeah. We all said, let's go live on Bilal. And then Emmett, of course, we had to put some money on Emmett. That was a nice little way to end the betting.
Yeah.
But all right, I'll see you Saturday, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close down here in a minute, man. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. I'll talk to you soon. I'll text you.
Peace.
All right, brother. It was Arsene, man, the one and only. We'll bring a Will here for a minute. What's up, Will? You there, brother?
Hey, brother.
What up, brother?
Yeah.
Chilling. How you feeling?
I'm back.
Hey, where you been? How you been, Will?
I'm
Everyone's
fine,
been
brother.
asking about you. Everyone in the chat. Everyone's been looking
Hey.
for Will.
Hey, man, I'm OG on this game, brother.
All
Let me
right.
tell you, it's been a rough week for me. It's been a rough week, really, for me. My dad got sick. I
Mm,
went like 1 week and a half off, and watched the fights from my cell phone, trying to watch the fights on my cell phone and enjoy the fights, not the main event. I had 1.5 units on the main event, 2.5 rounds plus, and
nice.
I cashed in, brother,
Nice.
and
Here we go, Will.
I've been enjoying the
Will,
fights.
first I
I've been,
want to say, is your father okay? Your dad's
baby,
okay?
baby,
Is your dad okay, Will?
brother, I will call you. Yeah, man. I was really sorry. I was
It's all right.
really thrilled and very scared of my dad had the coronavirus, but
Oh,
it wasn't any of that, brother. I
it wasn't.
really
Okay.
yeah.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
I
And
told you. Yep. Yeah, brother. I'm watching your videos. Lastly, this weekend score is going to be a great horror. It's going to
well,
be a
Will,
good main event.
I want to hear before we end the
Let me tell
show. Give us a bet, Will. Let everyone that's listening, let everybody know Will Salinas' bet. Give us your play. Give us a solid play. Let everybody know.
Sure, brother. Yeah, I don't have a place bet already,
Okay.
but I
Who are you
have
eyeing? What are you
Poirier.
eyeing?
Poirier.
Poirier.
I have Poirier by KO, brother.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Will Salinas, man. Calling Poirier for KO.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're gonna see you Saturday, bro. I hope we see you Saturday.
Hey, bro, I want to kill the fights on day of the fight, and big some of you. I know that your page of YouTube or channel, excuse me, channel of YouTube have been increasing very, very,
Thank
very
you.
big.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
brother.
hey, I hope
I
maybe on
always
your
appreciate
bet.
all you guys.
Yep, I hope you on your bets. Sorry, I hope you on your bets. Let me tell. Yeah,
No
sorry.
worries, Will.
I hope.
But
Yeah. Hey,
we'll
let
see you
me
Saturday,
finish.
huh, Will? We'll see you Saturday, brother, right?
Yeah. Let
All
me
right.
finish just this.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
go ahead, Will.
Yeah. Let me.
You're good, you're good. No worries.
Okay. With with the bets, I didn't place any bets right now, but let me tell you, brother. I know I've heard very recently that you I've heard very recently that you have not going very well with your bets, and I'm telling you right now, in front of like 30 people, other people are here right now. Let me tell you, I'm gonna give some prop bets on the night, so some of you guys can cash in, and
All
really,
right, brother.
I've been
Well,
in a
Will,
streak.
that's Will. Check in with us Saturday, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, so I went on like a 11 fight win streak, and then we had two little bumps in the road, two cards. It's nothing though. The amount of units we've been profiting over the last 13, 14 cards is nothing. And we're gonna bounce back big this weekend, brother. But I appreciate you hopping on, Will, and we'll see you hopefully Saturday, brother. All right.
Hey, brother, I
Thank you, brother.
appreciate you, and I
See you
really
there.
mean that. Hey, I appreciate you, and I'm really on your ship, brother.
Thank you,
Teller.
Will. All right, brother. I'll see you Saturday, Will. Signing out, Will
Thank you.
Salinas. Always a pleasure. The boy Will. Gotta love Will. Will Salinas popping in. All right, my brothers. Damn, man. We had an excellent show today, man. So, you guys made me happy, man. Although I didn't bring a fighter on, which is always a cool thing, man. I really do enjoy talking with these fighters and whatnot. This was cool. You know what I mean? We did a little MMA Live Discussion episode 8. with the crew here, right? Everybody tuned in. You guys see the numbers, man. You guys see the numbers. We got a strong community growing right before all of our eyes, which is it's an amazing thing, right? We could all bounce ideas for all these cards off each other, and it's going to be exciting to watch MMA Live Discussion grow. Right now, this episode we were creeping up on almost 60 people live. You know what I mean? We're crushing records every week. The fight prediction videos are hitting all-time highs. We're creeping up on 10,000 views per video. The fight companion videos, we're creeping up on 1,000 views per fight companion. That number is going to skyrocket. Trust me. The fight companion, 100%. We'll have hundreds of people in the fight companion relatively soon. Mark my words. We'll be rolling with the 100 strong in those fight companions, which will, in my opinion, make for more exciting shows. Larger community, better conversation in the chats, and of course, you guys know, I'm one of the very few people that run my show, man, where I let you guys hop in my show with me. You guys can come mingle with the teller. I never try to put myself on a pedestal. I hope I never come off like that to you guys. I got nothing but respect for all you guys that tune in, weekly to all my content. And like I said, man, you guys are always welcome to be a part of the show. So, if it's not for you, that's completely fine. You guys hang out, watch the video, chill in the chats. And if it's for you, you want to come on and chat it up with the teller. You want to pour up a shot, fight night. You want to hit a live bet together. We'll talk some fight talk live in the fight companion. We can do all that, right? Again, if you guys know anybody that's into fights, let them know, man. Keep spreading the word. Obviously, that's what's been happening because it's been spreading like wildfire. And I appreciate all of you guys, man. Everybody that's still in this video right now, if you guys can hit the like button, it helps me a lot, man. It really helps the algorithms and whatnot for the channel. And if you know anybody that likes MMA, let them know, man. We got the fight companions. We got the real underground king of these MMA interviews, the one that's asking the real questions. And you guys know I'm going to take over the game. So, I appreciate that you guys have been rocking with me from the beginning because I am going to take over the game. Once things get back to normal and we got these events going down with full crowds, you're going to be getting the craziest material from the teller. I'm talking about GoPro on the head, running there around the arena, backstage, everything, man. Chilling with the fighters. We're going to get Dana White. That's what we're doing. So there's no hesitation here from the teller. So the sky is not the limit. We're going way past the sky onto infinity. So sky is not the limit whatsoever. All right. Shout out to Adam Rose. Teller in the cut, man. Shout out to Adam. And yeah, man. Turn it up, MMA, man. I appreciate all you guys. Let's get it. Everyone showing support, man. I appreciate all you guys. So all right, man. Now we're creeping up on 2 hours, and we're going to close out the show. Again, if it's your first time here for MMA Live Discussion, you're going to see fighters, joining me typically on a Thursday, right? This is the first one. This is my 8th episode, starting from episode 1. It's been nothing but, big-time heavyweights. Juan Adams, we've had Olynyk on the show, the Boa Constrictor. We've had Eric Anders on the show, James Krause on the show, Bruce Leroy, Christos Giagos, Jordan Griffin, who's throwing down this upcoming weekend. He broke the news of this fight that's happening. He broke the news here on MMA Live Discussion. That's what this show is all about. And yeah, man, my subs have doubled in a month. That's correct, man. Went from 1K to 2K within a month. And we're going to hit 10K here very soon. We're aiming for 10K by the end of the year. And like I said, once these events start pumping out, and I'm working on a couple things, man. I know some people, and I'm pulling some strings together. You guys are going to get some excellent content from the teller. But I just want you guys to all know that, I'm nothing without you guys. So shout out to every single one of you guys that tune in. And, if I can help in any way, I try to do my thing with you guys. It's hard. I can't get to every comment all the time. I try to get to all of them and this and that. But I'm letting you guys know, man, I'm rocking with all of you guys. I'm rocking with every single one of you guys. That's where I stand. And for the haters, you guys know I couldn't close out the show without talking about the haters. I love the haters. You guys motivate me. So keep coming in the live chats. Today was a good day. We didn't have any haters, but keep coming in the fight companions and keep talking that crap, hating on us, because we love it. We love it. I find it funny. So and keep motivating me. Keep motivating me to hit the top of the game, which is the inevitable goal. All right. And that's going to sum up MMA Live Discussion episode 8. some guys that I'm in the talks with right now, or that I'm working on getting on the show. Gerald Mearshart, John Gotti III. I would love to have him on, trying to work on that. Frankie Edgar. It's looking like it's going to be a little bit on the Frankie Edgar interview. He's hustling and bustling right now, getting ready for a big fight. So my boy told me that's kind of on pause. Hopefully we'll get that going. Couple other guys, maybe Justin James, the guy that had that early knockout, who's making a name for himself. Might get him on the show. Got a couple other guys I'm talking to too, man. Let's see, Jared Gordon probably come on the show, and Charles Rosa also, some guys I'm working with. These are just names I'm throwing out to you guys that you guys could see here on the show relatively soon, just to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. And that's going to wrap up the show. So I appreciate every single one of you, like I said, and I look forward to seeing you guys for the main card this Saturday. Come join me for the Fight Companion. Have your drink ready. If you don't drink, have your smoke ready. If you don't drink or smoke, have your fights ready, and watch the fights, all right? Signing out, the Teller.